Good evening, it is Friday, and time for another Wearded Beirdos podcast. As a warning to those with zero sense of humor, or are otherwise, little bitches, please stop listening now. Dr. Chadder, and the bearded techie, will most certainly cross lines of moral decency, that are well beyond the average shit and fart joke you may be used to. The show is unscripted, and in the moment, so, who knows what will fall out of their dirty little mouths. That being stated, please give them a thumbs up, subscribe, and feel free to chime in on the conversation with a comment. Additionally, you may join their mailing list at weirdedbeirdos.com and be automatically entered in future contests and free giveaways. If you are willing to call in, send a text to 530 YouTube with your name and topic, and we may give you a call. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the funniest duo in their personal universe, the Wearded Beirdos.
God damn it.
Hello, I don't know if anybody can hear us. Having technical difficulties.
We got, all right. Testing. Well, yeah, it's
Showing up there?
on the monitor. We're getting levels.
Okay, we got 2 viewers. Can you hear us? Let me see here. Let me go to.
Good evening, it is Friday, and time.
I don't know if they can even hear us out there. I don't know if anybody could hear us all the other times because we would just start talking and then we wouldn't know until we were all said and done.
Oh, we got a.
Yes, that's
Okay.
We'll bring her in. Do my account settings are out. No one cares. All right, so we'll bring her in. I don't know. I'll assume she was coming in. I don't know.
I'm gonna view the stream and see if.
All right. So anyway, if you can hear us and you're listening, we were doing some technical changes, but it's one of those things we don't know if it's working until it's working, until after we've already went through this. And so we're working on that. Sorry for all the. Let me see if she can hear us. We're just talking. But anyway, today we have. What do you want to be known by?
My first name.
Okay. Would you prefer Jen, Jennifer?
Jen.
Jen, okay. We have Jen sitting. She doesn't want to be on camera, so those of you who watch the live show on YouTube or Facebook can not see her. Those are her little fingers. She's sitting in with us today. So what are your thoughts in general about doing this?
I don't know. It's a new experience.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because once you say it, it's out there. That's the scariest part. It's like whatever you say is gone versus pre-recorded or anything like that.
It's immediate.
What is your nationality?
I'm Thai and Lao.
Thai and Lao. Okay. Which do you prefer? So I'm half white and I'm half black. The white half is almost 100% Bohemian, but I still identify with black. Like when I'm asked, I'm like, yeah, well, I'm half black and I'm half white. Or I used to say I'm half slave and half master to be funny. That makes people real uncomfortable. So which do you prefer if you had to pick or what do you identify with? Or you just
Thai.
Okay, that makes sense. Because you say Lao, no one knows what that is. Only reason
nobody knows what Laos is.
Only reason I know is because we had a Sumsai was his name. I want to say 3rd or 4th grade he came to elementary school because there's a whole bunch of like Laotian people just came to middle of nowhere Iowa. Don't know why they came there, what they did wrong. When they were coming over, they were punished to go to Fort Dodge, Iowa.
It's the goddamn Mennonites.
Yeah. Mennonites.
Sponsoring the refugees.
That's how they get here?
Yeah.
So why would they bring them to Iowa? Okay, I can understand Iowa where there's places where there's like packing houses and jobs and stuff, but where I'm from, you're just throwing them into the middle of the Midwest.
Well, yeah, because that's where they are. So, like, these churches.
There's no Mennonites in my hometown. That's the thing. That's why that caught me off guard.
Is there a church?
Oh, there's tons of churches, but
yeah, there's probably some type of religious group sponsoring them, getting them over here, and they're localized in these, rural areas, because that's where you find these kind of unique right-wing religious sects.
Right. But they were only there for this is about 4 or 5 children and a mom and dad. His English was really good, and they were there for a while, and then they just disappeared and no one knew where he went. The only reason I know that Laos is a place is because of him. So,
and he knew English.
Yeah, like it was broken, but it was he still spoke decent English.
He must have been like educated.
Audio's got to be working because I'm looking at the video and we're getting captions. So,
okay, then it's got to be working.
It's amazing how the captions work.
Is it pretty accurate?
Yeah. And
I've never paid attention to him.
Well, I didn't even know that it was possible.
Oh wow! Other than religious sex,
right?
That's what
I'm sure it does misinterpret some.
But does it though? All right, so we have our very first. Well, outside of Jen, we have our first guest who was waiting, and she decided to come onto the feed. So we're going to bring her in, and we will get her story, and I'll let her tell her side of the world. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I am good. I don't know what the hell happened with Steve here. What happened? There we go. We are good. How are you doing this evening?
Chilling out, relaxing. It's Friday.
Right. Where do you live in the world?
I live in Missouri.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's probably worse than Iowa.
Worse than Iowa. It's
Are you from Missouri?
We call it misery sometimes. So.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'll try that back on there. There we go. No, let me just keep that one.
That's a little distracting.
That one is? I'll go like there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you were born and raised in Missouri?
I was. I've been here my whole life. I've been about the Joplin area, Midwest area, yeah. Right in the center.
Okay. So I'm from Iowa originally, but only reason we ever went down to Missouri was for World of Fun. And Ocean Fun.
Yeah.
There's
about 2 hours from Kansas City.
Okay. That makes sense. I've been through it quite a few times. We live in the Denver area. But when I moved here from South Carolina, and I would run back and forth in the beginning, and so I would cut through. That's a long, boring state. From like St. Louis to Kansas City sucks, and the roads are shitty.
Yeah.
My only experience with Missouri is when I was a kid. I had that friend who's like, "Yeah, my real dad goes to Missouri and he gets fireworks there and he brings them back." And
that's funny. How's he doing now?
I don't keep in contact with him, so I tried to look him up, but he's got a really common name. So
those are the worst. Yeah, I have my good friend Bill Smith. Like if I didn't keep up with him, he would never be found again. So I found when we were discussing bringing in people into the channel, I went to a couple Facebook groups for podcast guests and for people to be on our show and for us to be on other people's shows. We really don't have a desire to be on other people's shows at this particular stage. And a lot of them just want to talk about entrepreneurship and all that stuff. And then, is it Sheena? Did I pronounce that correctly? Okay.
Yes.
And so I'm the one you've been talking to, Jeremy. And then Steve is the bearded techie across from me.
Hi.
And then Jen is hiding here under my armpit. So
Hi, Jen.
See my wing? See it right there. Protecting her like a baby bird. And so go ahead and share your story because I don't want to.
Okay. Well, my story, what probably captured your attention, I had shared that I spent 25 years incarcerated in prison. And I, at one time, had life without parole, and my sentence was overturned and I was released. So that's a big story.
Yeah, there's so many questions.
Right.
Just the 25 years, and Steve dropped the ball on the camera, so we'll be back visually here in a minute. But just the 25 years in general, so many questions. But then you add the 25 years, but I was doing life prior to those 25 years. So the 25 years, even though it seems like forever, that was like a bonus in your world.
Yeah, I was sentenced to death by incarceration. I was actually supposed to die in prison.
Oh, wow.
Okay, do you mind sharing what happened, or is there?
I got married when I was 15 to a man who was abusive emotionally, sexually, mentally, physically. And by the time I was just turned 17, I went to prison for being accessory to his murder.
Okay.
Mm.
Alrighty. Is the other individual still incarcerated?
One of the other individuals is still incarcerated and the other one is out. There was 3 of us involved.
Interesting. So was it overturned because of your age, or was there, because that, I mean, as soon as you said 17, I was like, wow, why would you sentence a 17-year-old? Because this was 25, at least 25 years ago, right? So
it's almost 30 years ago, 1992. In 2012, they passed a law that anybody under the age of 18 could not have life without parole. It was unconstitutional.
right.
And of course, it's a case-by-case basis. But mine came out about because my co-defendants helped. They recanted some of their statements. The sheriff that arrested me became my #1 supporter. And a lot of backwoods country stuff happened in my case, and it all came out, and that helped me with my release.
We watch Ozark.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I'm assuming in my mind, because it's West Missouri, and I'm like, it has to be close to that.
yes,
Ozark, that's Missouri, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
you're right. Absolutely. It I had 2 jury members that said I was guilty till I proved my innocence, and one of my jury members went to church with my victim, so I was pretty much screwed from the get-go.
Wow. Yeah, that's a hard person to turn over.
Yeah.
When you're that close to the victim, because of course that victim can do no wrong in their eyes. They only see the good side. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors of what he's doing and what would lead. Because you got to think, anything that would make me kill a person, it's got to be drastic.
Well,
So,
back in the 90s, early 90s, domestic violence wasn't as talked about as much as it is now. Restraining orders weren't as prevalent as they are now. And even though I had a restraining order, it didn't matter. If I showed up somewhere and had a black eye, somebody would say, "What did you do?"
right.
So, that good old boy system, country boy, is
45. When I was a kid, she must have got out of line. That's the way it was, and it sucks that's how I thought at one point. Like, man, she must have did something.
Right.
And like, there's that joke, like, what do you tell a girl with 2 black eyes?
Nothing. You already told her twice. It's terrible. It's terrible.
But that's where that joke comes from. Like, it's a horrible joke, but the reality of that's how life was once upon a time. Like, I didn't come from an abusive family, so I don't understand like that. But you have family friends and stuff like that, and she would just show up with a black eye, and no one ever talked about it.
right.
She was miserable, but
Yeah.
why don't she? If she wanted to leave, she could have just left, and that's how you think.
Yeah. There's always that relative that everyone knows she's got that boyfriend who's a little bit over the line, but no one talks about it because it's no one's business.
Right. And that's how it was back then. But now social media and the internet, everything is everybody's business. Versus back then, it's like it happened at home. We didn't see it, so I can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 17, go through the trial.
Yeah. How long was the trial, or did you take a plea?
No, I spent 2 years and 9 months in the county jail awaiting trial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And while I was in the county jail, more terrible things happened to me. I was actually raped by a deputy, and they covered it up and threatened me, my family, if we spoke about it. It did come out 17 years later, and he did go to prison for it. But
Wow.
that kind of small town mentality, good old boy system, that he actually got promoted after the rape. So they were so worried about their murder case getting messed up that they did everything that they could to make sure I went to prison. Most of the people it's a small town, so everybody knew him, and his family was very prominent in the community.
Man, that's crazy. I'm taken aback. I wasn't expecting that to come into the situation.
Yeah, that's.
But he's in prison now, though. Yeah.
No, he got out. He took a plea agreement for 2 forcible counts of rape. And what happened was he came in my cell, but he forgot. He fixed the video camera, but what he forgot to do was change the clock on the wall, and that's how he got busted. But the sheriff and the deputies, they all covered it up for 17 years. And then suddenly it all came out.
The clock on the wall. We got to add that to our list.
Yeah.
If you go back a
Yeah.
couple episodes, we talked about our kill
Yeah.
kit. So change the clock on the wall. If there's cameras, we got to know. That's a
Change
good
the
one.
clock
We
on
gotta
the
write down.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
who would think about that? I look for that stuff when I watch movies. If there's a clock, I pay attention to the clock.
Yes.
Just
I want
because that's how I watch.
continuity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as rarely as you catch it nowadays, but back in the day. So 2.5 years in county. And did
Yeah.
you? So what was your thought when they passed? Because you had sentencing came after, right?
That what?
You went to trial. You didn't take a deal,
Yes.
right?
I went to trial for a week.
So what was it like when they said we find you
Oh, wow.
guilty?
The trial only lasted a week.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I'm talking too much. Only you were.
Yeah, the trial lasted a week. Deliberation lasted about an hour. And I just went into shock. Actually, I went into complete shock, just shut down. Like I didn't understand what just happened. And because so much had happened in the county jail already, and it was craziness. So I was very lost, confused, like what in the hell do I do now? So
Did you have a public defender? Did you have a public defender, or did you have
a public pretender, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it only lasted a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I mean-
actually got my case 2 weeks before my trial. So when I got my sentence overturned, that was part of it helping it, because he came forward and said I couldn't properly defend her.
Yeah. No public defender can properly defend any of their clients. They're just overworked.
How can you properly try a case within a week on a capital murder, right? So I'm assuming, because how many individuals were there?
3
Did they try you all at once, or was it individual?
separate.
So no one really turned on anybody. Did
Oh, one turned, but then right at the end he turned back. So he changed his mind at the last minute.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Man, a week and an hour of deliberation.
an hour deliberation.
Yeah, you were screwed way that before it
I
even
was
started.
before I ever walked in the door.
Yeah, they
So-
already
I
had their mind.
My
So
foreman,
you're-
my jury said I was guilty, so I proved my innocence. I was done there.
Right. So you're thinking, like, leading up to the trial was, really hopeful. You were thinking, I'm going to get out. Maybe I'll get a light sentence. Maybe I'll get 5 years. I mean, what were you thinking was going to happen?
Well, I hoped for probation, but
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because
That doesn't
when you're
happen.
young, we're before
Well,
the
you
internet and stuff.
don't- Yeah, you don't comprehend quite when you're that young, especially in a small country town. You don't think about long-term consequences, and you definitely don't think that that's going to happen. I never believed that I would be sentenced to death by incarceration. That's for sure.
So this was your first criminal case. You had
Yes.
no record prior to this. Wow. And yeah, you still got hit with.
And
all
at
that
17, because man, I couldn't even imagine. I was doing stupid stuff at 17.
Well,
But
I
in
had
your
to-
mind, I'm a juvenile, and so you at no point did you think you'd be going to prison for let alone the death penalty, but for the rest of your life. After you've sat, because you were in adult county, right, from 15 to 17.
Yeah, I never went to a juvenile facility. It was
That's
55
even
days
worse.
after my 17th birthday.
I've been in juvenile detention. I'd have been terrified to be in county at that age. I was when I was 14. I was in juvenile, and that was a cakewalk. Compared to,
I remember being in county at 18 and just
yeah.
just being scared shitless because I felt like such a noob.
Yeah, first time I was 2 weeks after I turned 18, I went to jail for the first time for assault. But I knew both people that were in the cell with me. It was still scary because you didn't know when you were getting out and all that stuff. But I knew I was getting out in a couple of hours, or my parents would have came and got me or something like that. But the fact that because when you went into county, you had no idea it was going to turn into 2 years.
2 years and 9 months.
Man,
Almost
Yeah.
3 years. No, I would have never thought I would sit there that long. And I mean, fast and speedy trial, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is what
don't
about
you have a
your-
right to like 90 days or something like that? And you can waive
Yeah,
your right
but
to a
then
speedy
you
trial?
an evidentiary hearing, but not an actual trial. They can drag. Everybody gets 3 continuances, and everybody gets all those different things. So, yeah, it's a process for sure. And then you go to court. The family goes to court. Your victims go to court with you every time. It's difficult.
So now the jury hands you the verdict, how did that make you feel? So up
I
until then, you had hope, right? I'm assuming, or was
I
you?
had hope. No, I had hope. And then I lost it basically, and I tried to commit suicide before I got sent to prison, because I couldn't imagine. But I ended up going to prison like the day after they sentenced me. I was on the chain the next day, and I was sitting in prison.
They waste no time there.
No, they don't want you on their dollar anymore. You know?
Nope.
So how long was it between sentence or? Because now you're convicted, and how long between the conviction to sentencing? Because now you have that time of wonder, like, okay, now I'm going to prison, but for how long? Or did you have an idea of what they were going to hand down prior to that?
About a week, yes. I knew I was getting, because for first degree murder, the only option is death sentence or life without parole in the state of Missouri.
Which both suck. So
Yeah.
There's not. Wow.
Yeah, and when you're 17, you really don't think of long-term consequences. You don't think about, I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison, especially since I did not pull the trigger. So I definitely didn't. I knew I should go to prison for my role and for, being involved, but I never thought that I would die, that I should die in prison either. So that was hard to take.
Yeah. Did you get a minimum, medium, maximum?
Maximum security.
Damn.
Yeah, because you're a murderer. Like you're like, regardless of what role you played.
I know when
Journalism.
they first sent me to prison too. My mom's like, "Did they stick you with murderers, hon?" I was like, "Mom, I'm here for murder." Yeah, they stuck me with murderers.
At 17.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but your points go down like every 6 months, and you can, or does it not work that way?
No, she was
very
life. She was sentenced to death, right?
Well, no, I mean I'm talking
What
about
do you
you'll get rated from maximum to medium to minimum.
I see what you're saying.
In Missouri, we only have 2 women's prisons, so they're both max.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget there's.
I don't see why there'd even be a minimum security for women, based on the women I know. So, oh man, so I'm at a loss for a lot. Like, I rarely have a loss for words, but it's just I'm blown away so far. This is not what I expected. Like, I don't know. Like, how did you? So you're going in thinking you're never going to get out. That's a totally different mentality versus going to jail for the first time when I was 18. I knew there was an end. I didn't know when the end was. I knew it wasn't going to be 2 years and 9 months, let alone life. How do you prepare yourself? How does the like walk us through like the transition of going from a free 15-year-old young girl to a convicted murderer doing life?
Actually, when I first went to jail, and a lot of people don't understand, I actually felt free because I wasn't being abused anymore. So I finally felt freedom because I had been incarcerated most of my life already in abuse. Wow. So when I got there, though, however, it was scary. Of course, you think about, what is that cell block H? People tell you about, but
right.
Yeah, or the Orange is the New Black wasn't out yet, so that wasn't a guide. But when you walk in, you're scared. And being so young, I was really scared. But I was real lucky because I sat on my bunk, and of course I was crying. I'm in a cubicle with a bunch of women, and I hear, "Hey, white girl," and I thought, "Oh God, this is going to be awful." And she actually took me under her wing. And I was very lucky, unlike some people. And she schooled me how to do my time. She schooled me that, it's going to be okay. You're going to be here. So this is what you got to do.
So someone latched on you like right away before you even got into like the real, that's cool. So
yeah. Her name was Steve, but her name, but
you say her name was Steve? Is that what you said?
Yeah, her name was Steve. I thought I was a poet.
I'm getting you that T-shirt, Steve. Like, her name was Steve.
Steve. Yeah, but it wasn't nothing like that. So, but it was really good. We call them OGs or old heads, and they actually took me under their wing and taught me how to do my time. And I think if I would have went in young like that and didn't have all that time, I probably wouldn't have had that. But I was lucky because I had so much time. They felt for me as being a kid. All of a sudden, these mothers became mothers to me.
Yeah.
Mm.
No,
Yeah,
I
makes
can,
complete sense.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's lucky though. I mean, a lot of times the new guy, when they come in, people just want to tease them, you know,
Yeah.
make him feel worse. It's kind of like a sport.
Yeah, that's my because you watch like Shawshank Redemption, like the beginning, like they're just hounding them, and yeah, that's they do a good job of scaring me from going to
Well,
prison.
that does happen, especially in the men's prison. And it does happen. I was just lucky that I, just got with the right people right off the bat. So, I mean, not that I didn't have hard times or fights in prison. I spent time in the hole. My first 10 years, I was a heathen, angry teenager. And, well, I'm learning the ropes in there. So I was told go in there and be the craziest white girl they ever seen. So
How tall are you?
5'7".
Okay, so you're a decent size in comparison to that's tall for a woman. Yeah, 5'7" is kind of tall.
Mhm.
It's the average.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'd say that's average. Who's tall? That Nicole Kidman, she's tall.
She's like 5'10", right?
Yeah, she's tall.
Yeah.
That's tall.
So you're in prison, and how long does it take for that your state of mind to shift from, because there's got to be some type of psychological breakthrough where you come to the realization where you're not getting out. This is your home. This is your permanent home.
Yeah. That was a real difficult time. I actually went through a very deep depression because you get to appeal. So for those few years I was appealing, I still had a little hope that maybe something would happen. And then on that last appeal that was denied, I lost hope for a while. But the great thing is the women I was surrounded by, they don't let you lose hope. And I actually signed up for a class that was called Impact of Victims of Crime. And it gives you the perception of victims, what they feel. And that class changed me to want to be better, do better. And I had decided that even if I was going to spend the rest of my life in prison, I was going to be the most successful even there.
Nice.
Yeah. You gotta learn to find purpose. I mean, wherever you can.
Yeah, there's no end to that. You've gotta go somewhere mentally to get you through.
Well, I became a personal trainer. I got certified as a personal trainer, group instructor in nutrition. We had puppies for parole program. I trained dogs, from service dogs to rescue dogs. And then any class I took, I turned around and became a facilitator. So my goal in life at that point was to do everything positive and help anybody else that was in prison with me not come back to that place.
Nice. You became the old head mom that was taking the baby birds. That's cool.
Yeah.
So now, how long were you in when there was that hope that, oh my God, I may be able to get out of here?
I found out in 2012 that the law changed. And of course, I'll believe it when I see it, because a lot of times you would get your hopes up, and I just stopped getting my hopes up.
Okay, so when did you go into prison? Like
I went to prison in 1992.
Oh shit. Okay. So
in 2012 is when the law changed. In 2015 is when my sentence finally got changed, and I got out in 2017.
Oh, you still did 5 more years.
Yeah.
The parole board. Yeah, they kept me there a couple more years. They were like, "You're too high profile, media high profile." So
did your mentality and mental health start to like deteriorate now? Because before you were busy. Okay, I've made peace with my life. I'm doing this. I'm doing good. I'm here, and now all of a sudden, now there's hope, and that they're dangling that carrot. How does that affect you, like moving forward? Because like they could take it away at any moment. Do you like what side of the world do you hold on to?
I stayed on that side of the world because I was not going to embrace that I was going to be free because I wasn't going to let myself get to that really dark place I had once been early in my time. So until I had it in black and white and I was seeing the institutional parole officer and making a home plan, I really didn't let myself believe or go there or have that excitement.
Yeah, I could. You're stronger than me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's really hard not to set expectations, even subconsciously.
Yeah, because that's 2012. I would have been killing myself mentally, thinking, "Oh, I'm here. It is at any moment now, and then time would slow down to a creep. Because I mean, the first 20 years, I mean, did they go by pretty fast? Or once you settled into things, how does time move at that level?
Well, I stayed really busy, so my time went really fast, but you would have years that hit you. Like my 10th year was very difficult. My 17th year was really hard because that meant I was in there as long as I'd ever been out. That was a hard year. And my 20th year, I had spent my last of my teen years, all my 20s, all my 30s in prison. So that was hard.
Damn. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a lifetime. I mean,
yeah.
So now I'm hogging the conversation. You guys have anything to say?
Yeah. So
no.
this, when did you start like coming to the realization that there is a really good chance that this new law is going to benefit you? And that everything's working out in your favor. I mean, there must have been a turning point where you did want to just believe.
My attorney I had a really great attorney that he did not bullshit me ever. You know, when I first got him, he was like, you might as well just sit. There's nothing we can do for a long time. And then so when it got close to me being able to get out, he was the one who was like, this is happening. You're getting out. It's okay. And so that's when my mentality started to allow a little hope and excitement to get in there, was the attorney telling me it was going to happen. Because he was no bullshit type guy that was like, and he took my case pro bono. So I got blessed in that area too.
Nice.
A real lawyer, not a pretender.
All right, not the other guy.
Yeah. Once a lawyer commits and says you're getting out, I mean, he better have something to back it up with, because that's a bold thing to just come in with.
Yeah.
You're getting out.
Because you don't want to. You want to give that person hope, but at the same time, you got to make sure that everything's lined up for that hope, because
he works with nothing but death row inmates, so he doesn't give hope. So if he's giving you hope, then you have hope. He was that type of attorney.
Nice. Do I give him a shout out, or are we gonna keep him on the down low?
Oh no, Kent Gibson out of Kansas City. He's amazing.
All right, Kent K-E-N-T.
K-E-N-T.
All right.
Yes.
Gibson. Good job, Kent Gibson. And so now we are free. How does that feel? Because you went in, I'm sure you're about 45, right? We're the same age. Because you went in, you said you were 17 in 92. I was 17 in 92. And so there was no cell phones. There was no flat screen TVs.
No.
Gas was $1 a gallon. And it was below the license plate to put gas in. So like
the internet was just a baby. I mean, it wasn't
even discussed.
Yeah.
You heard of it. I think maybe CDs were just coming out. Yeah. So it wasn't. Did you even have a CD?
We still had cassette tapes, I think, maybe, because we're in the country still. You know, I'm still in the country where we put overalls on our chickens so they don't, get messed with other animals at night. So we really had none of that stuff.
So now I'm sure you had some access to technology a little bit, but not on the level to be able to settle in.
Well, when I got in prison, I actually got a job at the recreational department, and I helped do a lot of their electronical stuff, and I helped run information channel, which puts information all over institutions. So I took Office Technology 1 and 2, which is like a business class, and that helped me learn a little bit. But when I got out and they handed me this little black thing that vibrated, I had no clue how to even answer it.
Okay, so we have a question from Ashley. Can you see she says, first, thank you for sharing your story. Second, how has COVID impacted you based on your life experience? Because now you went from being free to now we're almost locked back down again. That didn't even occur to me like, in my mind.
Yeah,
Like,
we kind of laugh about that, and not to be funny, but we've been locked down. So still sitting in your home, watching big screen TV, being able to go outside after dark, walking on grass, buying food that you want to eat, having many, many choices still. It hasn't impacted my life a whole lot because I'm free. I'm absolutely still free. I'm not sitting in an 8x8 cell with 4 other women.
right.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for someone to tell you it's time for yard.
Right. If you want to poop in
Or
the,
sit up
dark, you can.
Yeah.
I still get to sleep in and I don't have to sit up for count. That's always amazing.
Yeah. No count. Yeah. God.
So what was the first thing you did when you got out?
Well, I ran around my mom's car at the first red light because I wasn't handcuffed. So as soon as we stopped at the first red light, I ran out and I'm free. And then I went to Casey's and got some gum and water.
Taco pizza? Y'all don't know what Casey's. No, I know nothing about Casey's.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
about Casey's.
Okay.
That's how you know you're from the Midwest.
They're in Minnesota, right? Okay, yeah, they spent time in Minnesota. Oh, fucking! As soon as my mouth started watering, as soon as you said Casey's, and what taco
all that
pizza,
pizza.
man.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was really exciting, but as soon as I got out, I got a headache because there was so much color. Everything was so bright. I've been in drab, and then they're like, "What do you want to drink?" And they took me over. I was like, "Water," and there's like 20 choices. And they're like, "Which one?" I don't know. Just get one. All I knew is I wanted gum. I couldn't chew gum, and I wanted gum.
Yeah.
So
See things you take for granted, like that wouldn't even occur to me. Like gum, like why would you want but
Yeah.
you haven't had gum in 20-some years.
In 92, there wasn't even Aquafina yet.
Was there even bottled water then? I don't
think
remember.
people were doing that. No one caught on to that yet.
You can still buy.
I think you could get Perrier and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that was
mineral
fancy stuff.
water. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you could get Mellow Yellow in a glass liter bottle back then still probably. And they would try to do the seltzers and stuff like that. So much has changed. Like you get out and then you got
everything was so different, and the cars all look like spaceships to me because back in the day they didn't look like that.
yeah.
My mom took me to Walmart. One of the things was somebody bumped into me and I turned around ready to fight because in prison, that's a shoulder check means you got a problem. And so my mom had to remind me that I was out. That's not how it works out here. So I realized
Ready to go back, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, people bump into you. You don't have to prove yourself out here. It's okay. So
Yeah. It's not.
there was no Walmart Super Center, so that was definitely an experience too. Because wow.
Oh yeah, because even Kmart's were really small back then.
Yeah.
Compared to what a Walmart Supercenter is now.
Blue light special.
Don't hate.
Yeah, when I was in school, the girls took me to Target because I'd never been to Target, and it was like a school field trip. So it was pretty cool. The simple thing.
Oh yeah.
But I went through a lot of PTSD actually when I got out. I had to go through just if I heard loud bangs, intercoms, if I was locked around too many people. But I met a great guy. He served 2 tours in Iraq, and he's a veteran, and he really helped me get through so much stuff that I probably would have never got through.
So when you were free. Like you didn't go to a halfway house or have to go through the process or anything?
No, I
Your
came
mom
home
picked you
the
up
day
and-
before Thanksgiving to a room full of people I didn't even know.
Wow.
Wow. So you had no parole. You were out, no paper.
No, I'm still on
Served.
parole.
Oh, you're still on
Oh.
parole. How
Yeah.
long? How long are you on parole for?
2022.
Oh, so that's
Oh,
right
you're-
around the corner.
Yeah, you're on the home stretch. Shit,
Yeah.
you get 25 years in prison. Like a couple years of parole ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Right. No, parole's it's gold. Yeah.
So what do you do for a living now? Catch us up to who today is.
Well,
Who do you want us to know versus who you used to be?
Well, I just finished esthetician school. Well, that was good, and I'm getting my BA and getting my bachelor's in business administration. But right now, I started a group. It's called Prisondidnotbreakme, and within like 3 weeks, we've grown over 700 members. And what it is,
I just saw you I met you like a week and a half ago, and you were only at 400. So that's impressive to go from 400 to the 700 now.
and it's growing every day. And what that is I'm helping other people that come out that are struggling, and not only the offenders coming out, but also the families that maybe don't know how to help the ex-offender transition, because it's hard for the family as well. So this group is to help them, and we've turned it into a nonprofit organization, and it's to help people with housing, jobs, just the struggles of every day of coming out of prison.
So it's Prison Did Not Break Me?
Prison Did Not Break Me on Facebook, or prisondidnotbreakme.org is the website that we have.
Let's do that.
And then I'm coaching teen girls and women about loving themselves and confidence and self-worth, and doing life coaching.
Sorry, I'm typing. I type slow.
That's a great transition. I mean, you're really lucky that the law changed. I've heard horror stories about, cases like yours where you weren't directly involved, but you were just there, and you're getting all this time. And I can't even imagine, just for witnessing it and not stopping it, they're going to hit you with life. Yeah.
And I take full accountability and responsibility for my part. I did my time. And so now I'm just trying to be productive in society and make positive changes to help change the stigma of people that come out of prison like me. We're not all bad people that are in prison. We've just made some bad choices in our life.
Yeah, that happens to the best of us.
Right.
I mean, you were willing, like you said back then, you were willing to own up to your consequences, to the consequences back then. So that hasn't changed, which is phenomenal. I think a lot of people are just in so much denial, but I mean, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, and we've all done that. And what defines you is what you do once you've paid that price.
Right.
And
yeah, I'm not gonna let my past define me. Right.
Let it mold who you are, but move forward and use those experiences to be a better person, and to take those, baby birds under your wing, and not allow that to happen to other people, because you're a beacon. I mean, your story is, my mind is blown. I knew a little bit of it, and then when you drop it on, I was like, oh, it's so hard not to crack jokes, because it made me so uncomfortable, and the empathy that I felt for you and just having to go through something like that, because people are putting.
Prison was fun too in certain aspects. Now it's not fun like that, but when it was your life, you had to find things that were enjoyable that you could do. And so, I mean,
what? Give us some examples, because prison was fun. That's an oxymoron.
Right.
We did karaoke night. I won a couple karaoke shows. That was fun. We actually put on plays, Grease play. We put on an Annie play. I directed and co-directed those. Yeah.
How do I get locked up in a women's prison like that? That sounds fun.
Right. Well, because they try to do things productive, so that when you're in prison, you become cold, and sometimes you become numb to feeling it all. Especially if you go in and you're coming out for drugs and all these different things, your mind. So when you go to prison, if you utilize the programs they do have, you can learn a lot. But if you don't, then they kind of give you a choice. But it's not really reform anymore. It's kind of more punishment, and we need to get more programs back in there. So as us ladies, we would say, hey, can we do a play to make, or have a talent show? And it helps the morale of the prison. So the staff allows it so that they can keep a little more control of things, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it keeps the tension down.
Yeah.
Keeps morale.
Yeah, the isolation alone would drive me nuts. But as long as the mind needs to be occupied just as much as the body.
Yeah, when you go to the hole, you're down there for 90 days, just flip.
Oh yeah, checking in.
Don't check in. You'll never live it down.
So what kind of things would you do to end up in the hole? If you don't mind. If you can shut this down anytime you want. So okay,
no, it's fine. I'm an open book. It's cool. Fights, you can go the hole for sexuals. You can go the hole for drugs. You can go the hole for alcohol. Disrespecting staff, or any rule that they make up that day. I've written a book, and it's called Prison Etiquette, and it's coming out soon. But that tells people how when you go to prison, you follow our rules before you follow staff's rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because the staff's not there when lights go down. Those doors close.
Well, they're actually in a bubble, so they're not even in the wing half the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, people do stupid shit. Like they clip their toenails on the top bunk and you're on the bottom bunk trying to eat your ramen. I mean, that shit can get you beat up in prison. Don't do that.
All I heard was sexuals, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, like
there's a lot of that going on, especially in a female prison.
The fact that when you said someone's up there, you're trying to eat some ramen and someone's cutting their fucking toenails, all I want to do, man, I would just snatch that motherfucker off their bunk and shove them ramen noodles one by one up their fucking ass. Like, what is wrong with people?
Oh,
I trip my toenails outside just because I don't want it and by myself. That's disgusting.
Yeah, but they have the nerve to do it on the top bunk. So you would not think that's something that you would have to tell somebody walking in prison, but you would be surprised that you do. So I wrote a book about and I give all these little rules of things to do or not do. Don't wash your dirty underwear out where we have to wash our dishes, the main dish plates. So I mean, it's silly stuff, but it's stuff that people need to know because it will get you in a fight fast.
The fact that's an option to do your dirty draws. Oh wow, we should have started there. Like, yeah. So, oh man, could you? All right, I'm already mad about the toenails, but yeah, I'd be in the hole a lot.
Yeah,
if I come in to do my ramen dishes, and there's some dirty draws. I heard she got her period underwear soaking.
Like, exactly. You had one girl put it in a bowl and then put it in a microwave so she could boil them. Like, are you serious, bitch?
Come on.
Come on.
What did she put in? They got to boil it out.
Dirty underwear in her bowl. Ooh. And it's in our microwave, our community microwave.
There's not okay. So every community microwave usually has don't microwave fish.
No mackerel.
No fish and no underwear. Oh, I can't wait. I really want to read your book now because I like just those two little tidbits is worth buying the book.
God.
Yeah. And I tell some funny stories in there. I mean, because there's lots of funny shit that happens in there,
Right. Yeah, when you get a bunch of characters together, and just the absurdity of reality on the outside world is enough. Like I imagine in prison because now you're trapped, so you notice things probably more because you have nothing else to do but to be victim and prey of the absurdity.
You observe people, and a lot of people they medicate very heavy in there, and so they're quite entertaining.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
So when is your book coming out?
Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have it on Amazon.
Awesome. When that comes on, you can come back on and we'll read it first, and then we'll come back on, and if you don't mind, and we'll promote it, and we'll talk about it, and then hopefully by then I'll know what it smells like to microwave my underwear.
Yeah. And I could teach you how to make ramen. I could teach you how to make candy out of ramen too. So that recipe will be in there as well.
Yeah, I've heard about the prison cookbook.
Make candy out of ramen.
Yeah.
My interest is piqued. Like I was gonna read it anyway, but I'm definitely reading it now just so I got about 2 cases of ramen in the pantry now.
Oh man, we used to make this candy out of what is it? Now and Later's and Jolly Rancher. You microwave.
Hold on, you're telling you make candy out of candy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take the Jolly Rancher, you microwave it. You take the Now and Later, you microwave it, and then you mix them together until it's kind of like an amalgamation of like this hard candy and soft candy, and it's kind of like a jawbreaker.
Okay, you're making that out of boredom because some things just like vagina, you just leave them alone. They're good the way they are. You're good the way God intended them.
We did marshmallows and Jolly Ranchers and made taffy.
Nice.
Okay, that's different. But a Now and Later is essentially taffy, right? So I don't know. I'm gonna have Steve make me some Jolly Rancher.
Like and
it's just candy.
It was just a fun combination. It sucked up time, and you could create your own flavors.
Can you make some for next episode?
We could. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass. I mean, considering you can
you're
get whatever.
Outside.
Yeah,
I'm on the real world now. I don't have time for that. Okay.
we can. I mean,
would you make some and send me some? Since Steve's reluctant to hook a brother up.
Yeah. I'll hook you up.
All right. Anything else? Anybody else have to say? So I want to save the rest, and
I feel
want
like
to end it here and then bring you back when the book comes out because
yeah.
I could talk to you forever.
Well,
No.
yeah, I was just gonna say, how comfortable are you talking like about the crime itself? Like what happened? What
Well, I'll
you
talk
got all
about
this
a little
time.
bit.
I didn't want to be that guy.
You got all this
That
time.
guy.
I want to know too. Sorry, glad Steve brought it up.
Everybody's curious, and media portrayed it one way, and then there's the truth. And so, because media will sell anything to sell a story, the media made it all about money. However, what they failed to realize that we were divorced and there was no money. It actually went down. We were intoxicated, very intoxicated. And it started out one conversation of, going down and taking some money and his drugs because he was a drug dealer. And then it just rolled into him not hurting me ever again.
Okay, how old was he?
My husband, ex-husband,
Yes.
he was 22.
Okay, so now you have a 15-year-old girl and a 22-year-old guy.
Yeah.
No, only in Missouri.
Right there, you should have walked right there.
Well, yeah, but and my boyfriend at the time shot him, and they tried to make it like I was this mastermind of the murder, which I couldn't mastermind anything. I was such a follower. I was never a leader back in those days. Like whoever I was around, that's what I did. I was just lost.
Yeah, you were like 15. You were struggling with long division.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So someone was killed, right?
Mm-hmm. The ex-husband.
Your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay,
What was the conversation, Steve?
Okay, all right. I'm just clarifying here.
Okay.
So what led up to this? I mean, was there a discussion about were you upset with him? I mean, you were going over there to talk to him about something, or
It started out as going to steal more drugs.
Okay.
Is where the conversation started. But one of the last encounters I had with my ex-husband, he took me to a wooded area with a shallow grave and told me if he shot me, nobody would know that he did it. So I was constantly in fear of my ex-husband. Actually, when this crime happened, a lot of people's statements were, we always thought it would have been her that would have been dead, not him. So my boyfriend, as I only knew him 11 days, and intoxicated, crazy. And next thing I know, we're down there. He's shot, and I'm sitting in prison. And at that young of age, like if I could have the details of it, that would be great. But when you're so traumatized is when you're younger like that. But not only that, you get media, what people tell you what happened, cops tell you what happened. And when you're intoxicated like that, you're really not sure exactly what happened.
Oh yeah, your brain hasn't matured yet. So like you have, yeah.
What were you intoxicated on?
I was taking Xanax and drinking a lot of alcohol.
Oh, okay. So
it's the 90s. They didn't have the good stuff yet, Steve.
And of course I smoked weed, but it was the pills and alcohol combination.
Oh yeah, that Xanax and alcohol will make you do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Non-filter Camels.
Yeah. Cool, and then you end up with a murder case and you're sitting there. And there's days that I wish I could remember all the details because there's things that people say that was said or done. And I honestly cannot tell you if it is true or not true. I just know I did not pull a trigger.
So where did the third person? Because there was three, right? The boyfriend pulled the trigger. You were the girlfriend. And what was the third individual doing in this?
It was his best friend who was with us.
Gotcha.
So you went over there you were going to jack him for his stash.
Yeah.
And he was selling what, pills or?
He sold everything. Cocaine,
everything.
weed, acid, whatever you wanted, you could get from him.
Okay. And things just went wrong.
Went very wrong.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, the boyfriend, that combination with Xanax and alcohol, I've been on that, and it's just it is reckless.
Well, not just that, but the boyfriend was probably furious because of the abuse. So I'm assuming he knows by now, and so I've seen a lot of. I watch those like the crime shows and like children and behind bars and stuff, and a lot of it's the boyfriend gets involved or they hear a story, he just loses it. When you're young like that, you don't know how to control your testosterone. You just know that someone hurt someone you care about, and that's all you can think about, and you just react. I'm assuming he's probably still in jail because he did pull the trigger.
Yes, he's still in jail.
Do you keep contact with him?
No, I haven't kept contact with him, but I do hope he does get out one day. Because we were all so drug induced and just dumb, and I feel like he did it to protect me. And I don't feel like I feel like a second chance would be great for him too.
How old was he?
He just turned 19.
Oh,
yeah, I feel like anything you do before the age of 25, 26, I mean, is just you really need time, a second chance. Another go at things.
Yeah, we're all idiots up until then.
Yeah,
that's rough.
Well, and that's what helped change the law. They helped prove that the brain is really fully developed, and you don't think about consequences. Death is not always so real to people of younger age. The permanent of it, and so I think any child, juvenile, definitely should get a second chance. Because you change a lot, and you'll find almost every juvenile that's been incarcerated that are sitting in adult prisons are probably your most role model offenders who at a young age, they did everything in prison to become better people because they were able to develop to be better.
Well, yeah, because you don't know something is wrong until you don't know that the stove is hot until you touch it. You can tell me a million times not to touch it that it's hot, and I don't believe you. And then, oops, you're correct, and I grow from that.
Right.
But I think when you're a certain age, if you're below, like 24, I mean, when you start getting up in the mid 20s, things can change. But up until, like 19, 20, if I was ever put in situations like that, I probably would have done the same thing because that stuff happens. You get caught up in your emotions and your hormones. We don't know how to control our hormones. We're just trying to put ourselves in things. And that's all that guy was doing. He was just trying to protect. Yeah. And then you had drugs. I didn't do drugs, so I can't attest to how that would make me feel. And I'm glad I didn't because of the stupid shit that I did when I was a teenager without drugs. If I had a compound of that with drugs and alcohol, I would have definitely made poor choices or worse choices than I already made back then.
So he's been killed and you guys are probably freaking out. What do you do next? I mean,
I freaked out. I flipped out. I tried to save him. There was nothing I could do. I tried everything I could to try to save him. After we left, I actually called my mother and confessed to her, and she called the police on me.
Oh man.
Your mom still alive today? We need to get her on. Your mom coming on next time?
She is, but she was scared. I call her. But yeah, she turned me in, and we had to get over that milestone. By the way,
she did the right thing, though.
She did do the right thing, and I think she was trying to protect me, and she didn't know what to do. And the next thing I know, there's 100 cops at my door. I'm on the floor. My grandma's praying in tongues. My uncle's throwing Valium down my throat, saying, "Bitch, you're going to jail. You need these."
Bitch, you're going to jail.
Let me show you how to make some ramen candy real quick.
Right.
Good Lord.
For questioning, I was so Valiumed out too by then that I don't even know half the stuff that happened during nap time. And so I probably wasn't clear-minded until I'd been in jail for a week before I kind of woke up to, holy shit.
Yeah, this is it. We're in it.
This is bad.
Well, we have an episode called Chloroform and Kill Kits. So if you do this again, go back to that episode and refer to it. So had you had a kill kit, there's a good chance that we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You know what people watch in prison all the time? The crime dramas. They watch them all day long. And all you got to do is sit around and listen to a bunch of murderers, and you will figure out what not to do next time.
Right? Yeah. Hindsight. Yeah. Like, oh, if I'd done that. Yeah.
It's so funny because we have reunions and we all meet each other and stuff. And so my family, I'm like, you guys can go with us. And they're like, so how many is there for murder? Well, most of us. So, So it's kind of it's a weird, probably for people that's not used to it. But in prison, you have to deal with it however you can. And so, but most of the greatest people I've ever met were in prison because they have integrity, loyalty, and respect. And out here, man, it's hard to find.
Oh yeah.
In there, it's a requirement.
Oh, you won't survive without it. Yeah.
Exactly.
People take that stuff for granted.
Yes.
Days.
Yes.
Yep.
So respect and loyalty is really big for us.
And it's super cliquey in there, right? I mean, you kind of group up together. You know, no sex offenders allowed in your group. No.
Oh no.
Is there a lot of female sex offenders?
There's a lot. And you know what I found out? Oh, what was really, you would not believe how many sexual offenders female there are. But a lot of them get their charges dropped down to child endangerment, so nobody even knows they're a sex offender.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wasn't no one trying to test me when I was a little kid?
Now, when
Not
we
to make
were
light of it, but
they have their own table. They sit in the yard at their own table. When they dine together. When they wreck together. They really, they have to be over there.
Yeah, and they're all grouped together. So if you're in there for statutory, you're just as bad as the person who's in there for touching a toddler.
Yeah.
Okay, so I never even thought about like being subgroups. So if there's in the female prison, is it the same as it is in like the male prison where Latinos stay together, Caucasians stay together, or is it just kind of a?
They do group together, but it's
on the background.
Huh?
You have a TV on the background or a radio or something? Something's coming through.
No, not me.
Do you guys hear that? Okay.
Can you hear it?
A car driving by.
In the prison in men's prison, it's more racially and gang separated. In a women's prison, it's not as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to be girlfriends. They ain't trying to separate themselves with orientation. I mean, they don't care.
That makes sense. I was like, man, if you're divided by race and then divided by your crime, that'd be like if you only have one Asian sex offender, that'd be a lonely life.
Well, yeah, the sex offender group together, like if you're black, if you're Asian, the sex offender
that trumps race. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
So it's a rainbow there.
Gotcha.
I mean, they put them in the room with you, and then they will tell you that they have a child case. And in prison, if they don't see it, it didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
What?
The guards.
The guard.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay.
They didn't see it. It didn't happen.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Most of the fights that we ever have in prison are behind the doors.
Oh yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
They come in. Oh, so the guards tell you that they're in there for a sex. Okay, I thought they just rolled up in your cell and be like, "Hey, I did with your children. What you gonna do about it?" Okay, well, now we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the guards do it a lot because people, especially women, they put pictures of their children up. So they might come in and be like, "Man, I take those pictures of your kids down. You got a new roommate coming."
So fucked up. Wow. I mean, it's subtle. That's a good way to do it, but.
Well, the guards like the drama just as much as the women, if not more so.
I mean, yeah, there's not a lot. There's not a lot going on day to day.
Go from the guard standpoint, locked down, you're watching TV and watching people move around.
you're watching people, looking for contraband. Are you passing noodles to somebody else or?
And that's the big one. Don't pass noodles.
Yeah, you can't share.
No, you can't share in prison.
Like real noodles.
Okay, that was like a code, like a kite or something. Don't pass noodles.
That's one of our codes. Don't take the chips.
Don't what?
Don't take the chips. It's a rule. There's a video when you first go to prison, and it says, "Don't take the chips, because if you take the chips, you're going to have to pay back 2 for 1, or you're going to have to pay back with sexual favor, or you're going to get beat up. So don't take the chips."
Yeah, there's always that that introduction video where it's like, I remember the one they had. They don't have it anymore, but they you go in and you watch this video, and this guy's like, The next thing I knew, I woke up bleeding from my anus, and I had just been raped after being drugged with Seroquel and all this other stuff. It's like, holy shit. And yeah, just the most bizarre. There's don't take the candy bar on your pillow. Like, you get to your cell and there's a candy bar on your pillow.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't take it.
That's the name of this episode. Don't take the chips.
That's right.
But it's like, in a guy's prison, that would be terrifying. But if I go into a female prison and I'm a lesbian, I'm like,
It's not Candyland. And none of them look like in there like they do out here on Snapchat. No, they don't.
Don't ruin it for me. Stop. Don't stop.
No, I'm telling you, it's not Candyland. You have to remember they're clipping toenails on the top bar, okay?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a chiropractor, so I deal with women. I know their hygiene is not the best. I had the illusion that they were, and then even on out here, that's not what you think it is. It's kind of ruined a lot of reality for me when it came to females and their hygiene practices. Most of my patients are solid, but every once in a while you'll get one is like, okay, you should have hosed that off before you got in.
You do have nasty people in there, but don't think that you won't get hygiene thrown at you and told you to get your ass in the shower and you better get in there now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's
wash your butt. I'm gonna give you some chips.
There's no excuse not to stay clean. And you can always get indigent.
You got some of potato.
You know, we do all kinds of things. I mean, that are just rules. There's just simple things. And I guess the worst, when you're in prison, though, it's really hard. You can't live in there and out there. So you just become that world. You can't live in two worlds. And it's hard. And another big rule is page 65, mind your own business.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a journey, but I am actually grateful for prison because it made me a better person and it saved my life.
So do you eat chips now, though?
I do eat chips.
You're walking down the aisle like, I can't.
My boyfriend's like, man, you gotta tell him about the roast beef burrito. So to make fried potatoes, okay, you take a bag of chips, you crunch them all up, you pour some hot water on them, and bam, you got fried potatoes. Pour some roast beef on them. Delicious.
Shit's fire.
Roast beef burrito? Is that what you said?
Roast beef burritos.
That sounds okay. First of all, again, like you hear these crazy stuff that comes out of like prison recipes and stuff, but
right.
At no point in my life I ever thought, I wonder what chips taste like with hot water on them. Like,
but wait, you got to put them in the microwave and fry them up a little bit, and it'll taste like potatoes. But we also make cake out of vanilla wafers. You crush them up, or any cookie. You crush them up and pour a little bit of soda, put them in the microwave, and you baked a cake that won't fall.
But what's wrong with vanilla wafer? This is what I don't know, and I apologize for my ignorance. This is what I don't understand. It was the vanilla wafer was perfectly good by itself. The chips were perfectly good by themselves. And when you crunch up your chips, put some water and put them in the microwave, you run the risk of them tasting like your cellmate's underwear. You're adding things that shouldn't even be.
We don't have that food, so we got to think, what can we make that's close to it?
Yeah, you're trying to get back to home.
Okay, but you're living in two worlds.
You're crossing over. But still want something. I mean, you come up with all kinds of recipes in prison.
Yeah, they don't. The flavor profiles in there aren't the best. When
you want to live on beans every day of your life because that's what they serve in the chow hall.
Better than living off dick. I'm going to say, don't take the chip.
If that's the only other food, yeah. But in what world am I being forced to choose between dick and beans?
Well, take the chips.
Take the chips.
Yeah.
This has definitely been an interesting show, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So who's talking in the background? Does he want to come on camera and say hi, or is he?
My boyfriend, my wonderful veteran boyfriend who helped me through so much. Come here, babe. He can come say
Do
hi.
you microwave your underwear now, or do you do that still?
Yeah, I make him prison meals, and he doesn't mind them. He because I never learned how to cook. I was 17. I'm like, okay, I'll make you, And he's like, hey, that's just pretty good.
I was just discovering
Boyfriend
one back
here.
then. Like 92, 93 is when I discovered ramen. How you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Oh, we should have had you on, man. Nice beard.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, like I said,
It goes with our Harley.
yep.
Right. Okay. So you enjoy the roast beef burrito? Have you made it for him?
Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking that shit's amazing.
There's no MRE, though, right?
When she first told me about it, I was like, and some of the shit she says, like, there's no way. But she'll make it, and it's like, holy shit, where in the hell? Like, how did you guys figure this shit out? It's amazing.
All right. Well, if you can talk Steve into making me this stuff.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'd rather have that than go out to like Texas Roadhouse or Cheddar's. It's that
Really? That's a
That-
statement.
yeah, you're setting the bar high for some
Yeah.
flavored.
Now I'm gonna
chips
have
and
to
burritos.
cooking show.
You should. That'd be a cool channel. I wonder they probably already exist, but that'd be really cool. I'd watch that.
What, prison cooking channel?
Yeah.
Now the cookies, the ramen noodle cookies things that she makes,
Wait, what?
they're like a peanut butter. Oh,
Ramen peanut butter cookies.
It's kind
I'm actually gonna do a video because so many people loved them in prison that they've been asking me. We call them haystacks in prison. That they're like, can you make those? So I'm actually gonna make a live video for my Facebook group on how to make.
They're like, girl, can you have your boyfriend come and show us how to make them cookies? I'm there. You ain't gotta worry about it.
well, when she actually fries noodles, she's like fries them in the fucking microwave. It's the craziest fucking thing you'll ever see. Never in my life. Well, until now. But it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Steve's got to make me. You making me dinner? You're
Yeah.
cooking for Christmas.
Yeah, we used to make something similar. We'd take a bag of jalapeno Cheetos, smush them up, mix it with, crush up a bunch of ramen, 2 packs of ramen with a bag of chips, mix it all together, put hot water in there, and mash it up like in the bag. You're mixing all this in the chip bag.
Yeah.
And you just mash it all up until it's like a really thick. It's thicker than a paste. It's like a dough, and then you could take that and you put it in a tortilla and put some ranch dressing on it, and got yourself a little.
What would you call that?
Yeah, it's a little burrito. We called it.
Did you
Yeah.
guys have to double boil yours? You didn't have. We didn't get a microwave till the last 5 years in prison, but we usually had a double boil.
Steve was spoiled in prison. They already
Yeah.
had microwaves and technology by then.
But yeah, I spent most of my time in county, and we, in one of the counties we had a microwave, so
Bougie ass prisons.
we got to we could do a lot of cooking.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference between feds and state too.
Did you have like
Oh,
a hot
yeah.
plate or something prior to the microwave?
A hot plate? Hell no, in prison.
Well, no, you said you didn't have microwaves until like the last 5 years. How did you make
Oh,
your?
we had a crock pot, a little bitty crock pot for a few years. Then we had stingers, which are this little metal thing that you boil water. So you'd have to boil water, put a bowl, and let it cook your food as it boiled.
Yeah.
Or you use the hot water as the heat source type thing, or do you poach?
Well, you have the stinger's like a coil. You're not supposed to have them.
Oh, you make them.
Yeah.
No, ours sold ours. We got ours.
really?
Yeah. But now, mind you, also the worst thing about prison is the toothbrushes. I don't know where you were, but we had 3-inch toothbrushes. They have a hole in it at the end because if it goes down your throat, you can put a string around it to make sure you can pull it up.
Whoa. That's what the hole in the end of the toothbrush is for.
Yeah.
We could get
Why would you,
we could get Colgate toothbrushes where I was at.
see, why would you
You
put
were
it in-
so spoiled.
right? Yeah, his white collar prisons over here.
Yeah, I was minimum medium. So.
We're in Missouri.
Jolly Ranchers and Laffy Taffy and all that fancy stuff. They got to make that stuff with their stinger.
With their
tiny
stingers.
toothbrush.
Absolutely.
Man,
But I mean, some of the stories that, between her and her friends have told and everything else is just like she crocheted a squirrel from a picture of roadkill. and the woman still has it to this day. It's and it came out pretty damn good too. Like, who the hell thought?
I learned to crochet. I became a hustler in prison. You're not given anything. Well, maybe where you were, since you were a little spoiled. I don't know, but we were not. We didn't get when you walk in, they give you Bob Barker shampoo, a little toothbrush, a little thing of toothpaste that looks well, and people use it for glue actually on the walls to hang your pictures.
Is it called Bob Barker shampoo, or is that what you call it?
No, it's literally Bob Barker brand.
Literally Bob Barker shampoo.
Like the dude from Price is Right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I don't know if it's the same guy, but that's
I
always
don't
debated.
know if it's the same guy either, but
You
it's
look that up.
terrible.
I'm curious now. Okay, so I want to know is who's hustling and peddling dead squirrel pictures?
Okay, now listen. Let me that did not come out right.
Hey, yo, I got that new dead squirrel roadkill picture.
Okay, so the Missouri Conservation, the magazine had a dead squirrel. My friend said, "Oh my gosh, she can crochet," because I kind of kept that hidden when I come out because I felt like that was a grandma thing.
Right.
So I couldn't find no pictures of a squirrel, and the only thing we had was a picture in this magazine. It was dead, so I crocheted her one that looked alive though. So he's talking about that story. Like, we tell stories all the time between just stupid stuff, like how we would, keep the cops occupied so we could do something else, and we would do really stupid stuff to get things done.
Okay.
Well, heroic things.
Like jumping off the stairs.
There are some good stories, but they'll be in the book.
Yeah. I don't want I want to keep going, but I want to read the book, and then we can discuss the book after, so we don't ruin any really good. So yeah, as soon as you have my information, as soon as the book drops, send me a link, and I would definitely buy one and support you and read it and bring you back on and discuss it.
Yeah, and more details in my personal book will also explain more of the crime and all that stuff too later on. That'll be a later book. Not ready for that yet.
All right, baby steps.
Yeah.
All right, anything you guys have to add? Jenny's been all quiet over here. Just
I've just been listening.
Right, it's hard to not get caught up in like just the stories and stuff. Yeah, thank you so much. You were better than I ever expected you to be.
Oh, thank you.
to have a good conversation anyway. But yeah, you definitely took it to the next level. So I appreciate that and applaud you for the life choices that you've made since, and to continue to do good for people that need a person like you. So that's fantastic. My man to your left, thank you for your service. Amazing beard.
Amazing beard. I love it.
Anything else?
Yeah,
I appreciate y'all having me, and just it's been great.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your story. It's a powerful story.
Indeed.
And it's got a good ending.
Well, and hopefully it'll help our group too, and change the stigma that everybody that goes to prison is not bad. We are good people. We can be good people if given a chance, And people that have been incarcerated or support those who've been incarcerated, or our families of incarcerated or people coming out, are definitely welcome to join us in our fight that we're doing now.
In every state, it's not as Missouri.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah. So also, share this video on your Facebook group, and if anybody is on there that's willing to come on and discuss and talk, and we're more than willing to have them on and have even more conversations with those people, and they can share their story and
absolutely
help other people.
Yeah, people don't realize that convicts, that their conviction, that's just a day out of their life.
Yeah, blip over the course of their existence.
A fraction of a % of their life's choices, and they get defined by it, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and we want to change that. That's our goal. Just try to change that stigma a little bit.
So hopefully, with the prison reform, can get involved with the defunding of police and bring social workers and psychologists into the mix, and having real people who are educated in the human psyche and stuff like that, and not just labeling people. Oh, you did something this, now you're forever this horrible person, because that's how society is treating people now. And
Exactly.
it's horrible because we've all made mistakes. There's people that have never been caught for that have done far more worse than we can ever imagine.
Mhm.
So
I'm saying I think there's worse people nowadays out running around than there is in prison.
It's a scary world. But
And-
I'm free, so it's okay.
that's what matters. Once again, I want to thank you on behalf of Jenny because she's not saying anything and all that stuff. So we'll let you go and like I said, send us the link and continue this
I
conversation.
appreciate it. I may have shocked it a little bit. That's all. She wasn't ready for all this.
Yeah, sure.
Is that what- well, this is her first time on the show with us, so
Oh yeah, and then you bring the murderer. Great job.
yeah. Hey, we had to start somewhere, right?
Right. But thank you all, and you all have a good night. Okay.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Have a great night.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Holy shit. Whew. Where do we go from there? That was above and beyond what I was expecting in general. I knew just like a little paragraph that I had discovered, and I'd found her on a Facebook group. And if you just type in like it's be a guest, like a hashtag be a guest, and she had popped up. And I was like, oh, 25 years in prison. Majority of that I thought I was doing life. I'm like, oh, okay. And then that's kind of I reached out to her, and it led to this. But I didn't want to ask too many questions. I wanted to save as much for here, and because you can go there's a Murderpedia. You should be able to search her through Murderpedia, and it'll give you like the
Really?
details of there's a whole
There's something
like a
for everything.
Wikipedia that'll Like, I used to when we got into pen pals a while back, we were talking about that prison pen pals. I would find people and then go and look up like what they did, and so I stumbled upon Murderpedia.
Wow.
So there's a good chance she'll have a whole blurb and it'll break it on down like what really happened and the names of the other people and stuff like that. I'll look it up now that I've already talked to her, but before that I didn't.
It's tough to talk about stuff like that, especially with new people, and it's being broadcasted. I would like, when we get her back on, I would like to get a little bit more in depth, like what was your state of mind? I know she was high at the time, but
Right.
What was going on? How did it impact like your, I don't know. It's I feel like there's more to it than what we got.
Yeah, and I was just afraid to even, because like ours was our first interview
Yeah.
on our show, and I was afraid to even go down. I was like, oh, I really want to know. Like it was like I really want to know inside, but let me just kind of keep it here and let her open the door. But it's
one of those things where it's like it's the deepest, darkest moment of someone's life, and you're asking them to relive it for your entertainment.
right. Yeah.
So it's a tough ask. So it was hard for me to ask because it was, I know I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
And
I supported you 100. As soon as you started, like, oh, here we go. Like, thank you, Steve, because I couldn't bring myself. Because like I said, the deepest, darkest, and at the same time, how many times she told that story? Like, how many times she spent 25 years thinking about it, and then beyond. So it's like, yeah, that's. And I was hoping that if she wanted to talk about it, she would have brought it up, but it didn't get to that. But yeah, like, I was expecting to have a totally different show coming into this, which I'm glad we don't script anything and don't do research and stuff like that. We just kind of talk and see what happens. But
yeah, it's interesting that she's trying to start a Reformation group.
Yeah, like it's on. When we were talking, she sent me the link, and at that time she had like just over 400 people, and that was a week ago. That was up to 700 people on their Facebook page.
I think people are starting to come to an understanding that people make mistakes. Felon, that label isn't what it was.
Oh yeah, when I was a kid. Oh yeah, who what? Like yeah, you had no understanding of what it was. But I think too the way the law enforcement and the justice system now is trying to snag as many people as they can possibly get on paper.
Oh fuck yeah!
And so now the chances of someone have been in jail or locked up or something like that is actually exponential, because they're trying so hard to get us all on paper and get us all in the book and track us and do all this stuff. And you got people that are going to prison for stupid shit. But the moment she said I was 15 when I killed someone, I'm like, oh, this is not where I thought the show was going. And then from there, I just like it. Yeah, I got really uncomfortable. And then when I go into that level of uncomfortability, I need to pull back my humor, because I'll start making some really, really off the cuff jokes because I'm uncomfortable. That's how I deal with it. And so I was afraid I was going to say something just totally inappropriate and off the cuff, because I hit bottom right away.
I wish I could find I wish I had this woman's information. I was in therapy group, and so I'm not going to share too much because I assume what's shared in those in therapy is supposed to be confidential, but it's a group. I don't know.
Well, like HIPAA, I can. If you guys are my patients, I can't unless you give me permission. I can't talk to her about your stuff and vice versa. On my end, you don't have a license to take away. There's no repercussions on you as far as I'm not going to say to go out and just start blasting people's stuff, but as far as laws and rules, you have nothing to take away, so therefore you're not bound.
So there's this woman I was in a group with, and she had just gotten out on parole, and she had done 12 years in prison, had 10 more years on paper.
Ooh.
And she had been brutalized and raped by this man when she was, a teenager. And she eventually one day got together with a couple of people, went to his house, tied him up, and blowtorched his dick off.
Oh, shit. Wow. That escalated quickly, bro. I didn't know where you were going with that, but
yeah, she wanted fucking revenge for the rape, and she was getting really high at the time, and they fucked that guy up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, I can't even.
You can't put it back on.
Oh, especially after it's been seared off.
Party's over.
I mean, just think about the unimaginable searing pain. I mean, of even just hot water,
right?
Let alone an open flame.
Yeah,
white hot,
because those are nerve endings.
Propane torch.
The amount of nerve endings that you're attacking, and all you have left to build a little clit out of is a little burned little peanut. Like this is what it looks like now. You've got to convert it to something else, right? Or how do you roll with that?
Oh man, he probably had some huge medical bill, which he probably had to pay off. But
yeah, he'd be a victim.
God, the plastic surgery needed. I mean, you'd have to have a fucking god to really put you back together in a reasonable fashion, let alone whoever you're going to get at the local hospital. And, maybe they just barely passed their, prosthetics exams, and they put, they say
prosthetics exams. That's okay. So, all right, hypothetical, Jen. If the individual that you're with has their penis seared off, and how to answer that, and they have to have a penis transplant, would you want the same penis back, or would you want a larger penis, or how would you approach that?
I don't think you get a selection. I think it's
it's not like a catalog you go through.
So you would just I don't know what I'm gonna get. I just hope.
Yeah. Do you want Caucasian, Mandingo, Korean,
Mandinka?
Yeah. Excuse me.
I listened back to that one the other day.
Racist.
Yeah.
I'm racist. I'm terrible.
So,
person.
Well, okay. I'm sure it's not, but you've got to have some kind of choice in the matter. Because if you go and get your boobs done, you can choose the C cup or the CC of the fluid. Someone's like, bro, what do you want?
Yeah, but a dick is way more complicated than a tit.
Wow, that's so sexist.
That's true.
That's kind of sexist.
I mean, because a tit is just pretty much an envelope of flesh that you can expand or contract. You just got to stuff it with something. A dick doesn't work the same way. You got to,
you can stuff it with something.
You got a vascular system.
It's called sounding. Out there.
Yeah. But it's not as easy. I did see a thing on Ripley's Believe It or Not. This guy, he had testicular cancer, spread to his shaft, had to remove the jewels and the staff.
Oh.
So they replaced his penis with his middle finger. I don't know what they did with the bone exactly. I can't recall if they I assume they had to debone it, which probably causes it to contract quite a bit. I mean, you think about how much mass but the bone in your finger takes up.
Yeah, but okay. If you're okay with that,
It depends on
We
how
got-
big your hands are.
1, 2. We got 3.25 inches, maybe, because I know that for a fact that's an inch right there. Because being a butcher, so at most you got 3 inches compared to whatever you. Not this is the girth,
And that's still
and now you can't flip anybody off anymore because
that's still better than the world's smallest national average, which is in South Korea, and it's 2.5 inches.
why do you know this?
I have deep-seated
devotes time to this.
psychological issues, body image issues.
Okay,
When porn is your
It's-
standard, you start to get a little self-conscious.
well, yeah, but you got to take into account that the women in porn are really itty bitty too. They're the size of like 6-year-olds, and so it seems larger. And what are you comparing it to? Because you have
there's no sense of scale.
right.
It just looks fucking huge.
Okay, but why? Okay, porns are scale. Yes, I understand that because I enjoy a good porn session myself. However, why are you looking up the national average for Korea?
Well,
That's just
I
kinda
wasn't
random.
actually looking it up. I learned that when I was actually listening to a radio show where they were talking about biggest dicks, smallest dicks, and there was a poll and
Oh.
There's a dick poll.
POLL.
Okay.
And so there was a poll in each country. I don't know if every single country did this, but I think the largest was in Nigeria, and like the national average was like 8.5 inches or something.
That's gangster.
And then America was 5.5 inches.
Wow.
And then Korea was 2.5 inches, and there was
Is that north or south?
At least
South. They're not polling in North Korea.
At least they're honest.
Yeah.
2.5.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to assume a selection of those people being polled are, how are they getting that measurement? Because it has to be
You're-
standardized.
You're polling, I guess.
You'd have to have someone measuring it for you. That's the only way
right,
you
you've got to get people who are willing to come in. Because like when you watch, okay, we can go on to some porn channels right now, and it's going to be hard pressed to find a small penis.
right.
Because people who are putting themselves out there and are willing to take these studies. So if the national average is 2, just think of all the ones that are too embarrassed that they don't live up to that 2.
Oh God.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's the average. So there's above, and then there's well below.
Right.
Whew, those poor fuckers.
They should have a support group for that.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Well, yeah, it's called South Korea.
Yeah. Fuck.
Or North Korea is the support group. We send you out to North Korea if you don't measure up. Wow.
Nice one.
Sorry. But the fact that you know that is okay. But why are you infatuated with penis size? Is that something?
Well, I wanted to know
did you feel
if I wanted to know where I ranked,
okay.
and if I was normal, if I was below average, if I was above average. I was like, okay. So
You're not normal because you were looking.
right. Well,
But see,
that's not normally for people to want to like look up.
I didn't measure myself until within the last like 5 or 6 years. I really didn't care. Like it's never really because I never
I don't. Yeah, for some reason I don't know why, but
I haven't seen a lot of male penises in real life.
it's somewhere along the line. It got to me that a big dick was an important thing, which is a super, egotistical. God, what's the word? Chauvinistic.
Right? Yeah, because when as soon as you're done measuring dicks and get over here, like it's but it's something that no one ever sees. It's something you can lie about.
Yeah,
That's the funny thing about that is like you can say you have and just never have sex with anybody, and no one can disprove you.
I think they could. Someone could disprove you with enough effort, but
It's called rape. But yeah,
yeah, I guess.
because if you attack me right now, I would need to move over to the chair. But if you were to attack me right now and try to measure my erect penis, it's not going to go down that way. Like, it's just, for one, it's not going to get hard. And so plus you have people that are showers and that are growers versus showers.
So I would need to drug you with Viagra. And
chloroform. Chloroform. Drug me with Viagra. What the hell? Then oh my God, what's wrong with my penis? Chloroform.
Chloroform you.
And then we can time the chloroform and we can measure my penis. Mm-hmm. Or I can just send you a picture.
We can keep this one hypothetical.
You're gonna. You can chloroform me. I don't care, but I don't want to. I'm afraid of what if my penis doesn't go back down to flaccid? Because I do want to do a mold someday. I think that's the best gift I can give a mate is a cast of my penis.
Yeah, they have
something. They're called. Oh my God, I can't think of what it's called right now. But yeah, it's like a tube, but to maintain the erection.
Yeah, it's got to set.
That's the heart. Yeah, right. And so how do I keep that going on? Because as soon as you start doing that, you're gonna
without stimulation.
Yeah. So I thought about doing it with Viagra.
Yeah.
Clone Willy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like $60.
Oh, it would definitely work. It wouldn't be like a rock solid version though. From my experience with Viagra, it gets you like 85% of the way there.
But it maintains that though, right?
Oh,
so without the thought.
Yeah.
Essentially. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a retesting more recently.
Okay.
So the stuff I have is real. It works. It's just the first time
just
I
walk around knocking shit over.
I mean, it was to a point where it was almost uncomfortable.
See, that's my fear.
Because
I'm not circumcised, and sometimes when it pulls that hood all the way back, it becomes uncomfortable. And if it's stuck that way, that's terrifying. Like 4 hours of that would drive me insane.
Well, it's just like the slightest amount of stimulation will give you a rock hard erection.
Yeah, no thanks. 'Cause this boy up here is always thinking about crazy shit.
I mean, physical stimulation.
Oh, okay.
Like your pants rub it, or it moves a certain way in your jeans. I'm not talking about mental stimulation.
Okay.
Yeah. The slightest physical stimulation will give you a huge erection.
That would be funny to fuck with people. Like athletes and shit like that that wear loose clothing. That would just be hilarious as a prank.
Just drug them with Viagra.
Yeah. People like doctors wear scrubs. Like gynecologists like drug a gynecologist friend and he's in there and just rubs and all of a sudden he's fucking rock hard, he scrubs and he can't do shit about it.
Oh man. Yeah, and he's on call. You can't fucking.
Oh man. Yeah.
That would be horrible. But even for something like Viagra, I believe it is still a felony offense to drug.
Well, you do it to a friend.
Still illegal.
Like when we chloroform. Okay, so if we chloroformed you, would you rat us out? Would you be that person?
Oh, maybe. It would depend.
On?
I don't know, the nature of it. I mean, would I know about it?
No. You know what chloroform is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we just chloroform you randomly and just leave you in a Walmart parking lot to time how long it's going to take and if someone's going to rescue you, would you be upset with us?
I would.
Okay. Would you call the police though, or you just be mad?
No, I wouldn't call the police.
Bro.
Yeah, there's
no reason to call the police ever.
Yeah, there's a special place.
We're not going to hurt you.
We're
just going to time it for our kill kit.
Special place in hell for cop collars. Getting called a cop collar is worse than getting called a motherfucker or a bitch or a snitch. Cop call a motherfucker. It's like, oh god.
Well, there's got to be some situations, but yeah, now that the nation is paying attention, there's very few things that I would consider calling the police for. Yeah. One, I'm putting myself at risk because he may come and just shoot me because
you are black,
right? Because the most recently on the news, the guys were at the bus stop. You see, there were 3 or 4 kids. They were black kids at the bus stop, and some homeless guy came up and asked them for something. They said no, so he pulls a knife. whole bunch of people calling 911, including like there's a restaurant right in front of this bus stop. The manager calls the police. Cops show up, hold the 3 juveniles at gunpoint, get them on the ground, cuff them, and do all this stuff when the homeless guy got away. Even though not all the calls said, one call said that the kids were harassing the homeless man, but there were several calls because they were fending him off with their skateboard because he pulled a knife. One person said they were attacking them, but the rest of the original call, reason they were coming, was because the homeless man had pulled a knife on the kids. But the cops come, guns blazing on the black kids and make them lay down and cuff them and do all that bullshit. So why would you that makes me like not want to call the cops because I risk, they might get killed, I might get killed, and all we're trying to do is save our lives. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if I hear a domestic disturbance, I'm not going to knock on that door.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, who are you to go over there and say,
because you don't know what you have no idea what's going to open that door and what their mindset is and what's going on. Because you got to think, when you hear that in that situation, you're already in fight or flight. Like, oh my God, I'm going to prison. That might be what they're fighting. They might be fighting over finances because he's a felon and can't get a job. And all of a sudden the door, I'm going back to jail. And as soon as you open the door, blam. So.
Yeah, there's a specific knock that elicits a certain response from me. There's types of knocks. There's a cop knock and then there's a normal knock. Cop knock is a real firm.
I try the cop.
Forceful.
I do the cop knock just to be a dick.
Yeah,
I'm a douchebag.
That is that strikes fear to the core of my being. Like, oh fuck.
Yeah, even when you ain't did shit. That's the funny part of all that.
You don't have to.
If I see a cop drives by my house, I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? I automatically think like, fuck, did I do something? They're looking for me. That's a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
so I don't go anywhere.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything to get fucked over by the cops.
Yeah, not anymore. Like it's fair. You're fair game.
Not anymore. Not ever.
Well, there was when I was a kid. When I was younger, the cops were not as bad as they are now. As I got older, I saw it. Maybe I was just naive to the situation, but
I think previous generations of police were different because they were becoming cops for different reasons. There were different types of people becoming police.
Right. Now
there's new types of people becoming police for other reasons.
Yeah, you got bullies that are becoming cops because they're bullied.
Yeah, I think cops from like the 50s, I think a lot of them were, they wanted to serve and protect the community. I can't say it was a rule.
20, 30 years ago, it was a status symbol. Cops were like amazing. Cops, firefighters,
yeah,
stuff like that. And now they're just 9-to-5ers.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's I wouldn't want to be one right now.
Yeah.
And I think
probably the worst time to be a cop ever.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in the news that cops are retiring at record numbers all over.
And what does that say about the profession? It's like, hey, stop killing black people. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna quit. I'm not doing my job. If I can't kill people, fuck you and your community. Like that makes zero fucking sense. If you just peel back the layers of why can't you? Okay, we'll try our best. Because if you retire, I automatically assume you're a bad cop. If you're so upset about not being able to kill people because you went to a call that had nothing to do with violence, but just because they were black and didn't want to turn around and face you and you shot them or kneeled on their neck, a non-violent situation. And I understand there's situations where you have to use force, but there's how many videos are there of white guys losing their shit with knives and guns in their hand and they get talked down?
Yeah, true.
Where Tamir Rice, within 3 or 4 seconds, was gunned down in the park. Cop rolled up in the grass, jumped out, popped him. He's playing with a toy gun at a park by himself. No one around to even cause harm to. Cop rolled up and capped his ass. He was like 12 years old.
Damn.
Jeez.
That's the problem. But then you have all these mass murderers that go and shoot schools and all this stuff, and they bring them in so they can have their day. I think
a lot of the police are the ones who are retiring are also retiring because of the stigma that's now getting attached to police, and all the criticism that they're getting, and like the public backlash, and they're no longer heroes. They're villains,
Yeah.
and they don't want to. They don't. That's not what they want anymore. So,
And I agree. And it's probably more to that than anything else, but it looks bad.
yeah.
Because like it's one. I was thinking today when I was coming home, I was like, man, I should just do a video because you hear other people, oh, not all cops are bad and blah blah. Well, not all black people are bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, almost want to do a video of like, and come out like that. People say that all cops, there's more good cops than bad cops. Well, where are all those videos? How about I go first? I'm a black guy. I'm not a bad person. This is who I am. Your turn.
Yeah.
And just make a statement like, hey, black people, pull up your fucking pants, take out your gold teeth, articulate, and then move on. And if you can start a chain where cops start like just come out and say, yeah, I'm not a bad cop. But there's no good cops coming out and saying that. They're just saying, oh, there's more good cops than bad cops, but no good cops are coming forward and saying, I'm a good cop, he's a bad cop. Because you can't say you're good unless you have bad to compare it to.
Yeah. Good cops and bad cops. Well, there's the bad apple, term.
Spoils a whole bunch. Yeah.
Yeah. But you get what you pick. So, you can avoid picking them.
Oh, yeah. With. And it's one of those, like, you don't see it as much in the sheriff department because most sheriff departments, you have to work in the jail first.
Yeah.
Before you go out and patrol.
Mm-hmm.
That makes total sense. You get around people in jail and realize, okay, they're not that bad. But if your first dose is you go out there and you're on the streets and you're terrified because now they pumped it up that these people are horrible. The reason you carry a gun is so that you can kill them so they don't kill you. And this mentality when you go out there, they need to weed those people out. There's got to be ways to.
Oh, yeah. The police academy is the psychology that's, infused in that culture is toxic. I mean, you go in there and it's like totally militaristic, us against them. We're on high alert and you're always in danger, and be prepared to defend yourself at all costs.
Yeah. So you're terrified now, and you know that, well, if I do something wrong, they got my back. That's a horrible mix to send a person out there with a gun.
Yeah.
And then you have, there's no accountability. To me, if you really want police reform, we don't have to necessarily defund, but make them licensed. Like me, I have a license. That license is gold. If it goes away, I can't make a living. I have to go back all the time I spent in college, all the student loans, all that. I can't do anything with it. I have to go back to doing whatever I can do, but it would never be as a doctor of chiropractic. Not only do I have the license, I have to take classes every single year to maintain that license. And then I also have to carry malpractice insurance in case something goes wrong. I don't carry it because I'm going to hurt somebody. I'm carrying it just in case I do hurt somebody, that they're protected financially. But at the same time, I have that hanging over my head. Like, okay, I should probably not do this. Oh, I got a hot chick on my table. I should probably not think about it. I should probably not act on that. Not that I would do that anyway, but there's things that are floating above me. Hey, you're a professional. Act like it.
Yeah.
Because at any given moment, this can all be taken away. Cops don't have that oversight. And some of them only have a high school diploma.
Yeah, I totally agree that they need more training. Definitely courses in psychology and law. What the law actually is.
Oh yeah, there's tons of people. People they'll school them. Here's the law, and they'll cite numbers, and they'll look it up. Oh, okay. Well, you have a good day, sir. Yeah. Apologize and move on. But yeah, I think they need to go through. You learn the codes and all that stuff, but you need to know almost like a lawyer.
Yes. Yeah.
Or a paralegal.
Yeah.
A paralegal has more responsibility and more to lose than a cop does.
And training in regards to, rapid response, how you respond to like mental health crises, because there's going to be people who, they might not be a bad person, but they're having a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And they're high on, alcohol and speed, and they've got a knife.
What's that?
How do you deal with that? There needs to be training specific to situations where someone is having the worst day of their life and they need to just talk to somebody.
Yeah, that's it. And because I was talking with the boss because how she does her job. Like, you shouldn't make every response should be a police officer, an EMT, paramedic, and a social worker. every single call. The cop is just there as a bystander, unless some shit happens, and then they pull back and do that. Because if I know, like, when I see a squad car now, I'm gonna be terrified, regardless of whether I did something or why I'm getting pulled over. Immediately, I'm thinking my life is in danger right now. But if I know that the people that are gonna hop out of that car are gonna want to talk to me first, I'm gonna be more able to calm down. Like, okay, we're cool. Because some situations are gonna be escalated just because I know that I'm gonna die anyway. And that's where we're headed. Is like, as a black person, I think, man, I'm dying anyway. I'm gonna go out like a baller.
Yeah.
You got people that have that mentality. Like, I'm terrified to get pulled over. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, how am I gonna react? My life is threatened, and so is our video feed. He's got one job done. You monitor the chats like you're supposed to, even though nobody.
Yeah, there's nobody chatting.
That was our largest one at a time listenership for the longest time, and no one said anything other than Ashley.
Wow.
Any other time we had a couple people say something, we'd miss it. So,
Yeah. Well, that woman was, interesting. I'd like to get some more stories out, some more prison stories, I guess, which we'll get when the book comes out.
yeah, I'm interested.
I want to hear
prison etiquette.
I want to hear,
fantastic.
I want to hear about the prison etiquette. I want to hear about the sexual escapades.
Yeah, that's where I want. I was like, because that's where I was headed. Take the thing on my face on the camera.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's what I was like. Because you're going in. That's where I was kind of going as far as like your mentality going in. Because if I'm going to male prison for a couple of years, I'm gonna ride that out. Jeremy, you're going for the rest of your life. You're never gonna see a woman again. I'm gonna maybe. I might be a top for the first couple of years, but you're going to morph into
Maybe.
the beast.
Maybe. I mean,
Because how long were you in jail before you sucked your first dick?
it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Did you think about it ever?
You
hesitated,
I
didn't
thought
matter.
about. I posed that question a lot in jail because, God, there was one fucking guy, and I couldn't believe his response. I was like, all right, you get a 60-day sentence, or you got to suck a dick. What do you do? He's like, I'll suck the dick. And I was like, you'll suck a dick to get out of 60 days
You
of jail?
suck dick forever. You can get over 60. I don't know. Oh, that's a good question.
And I remember I brought that up. Oh, I embarrassed shit out of him. I said, this guy would suck dick to get out of a 60-day sentence.
60 days is not that bad
No.
in comparison.
I guess I don't know how long he had to suck it for. And not that sucking dick is bad, but when it's something you don't want to do, it can be really bad.
Yeah, regardless of your mood and sexuality.
And hygiene.
Yeah, because dudes are gross.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I could be a lesbian all day. No, I'm on the fence nowadays because just the hygiene of some of my patients. Not my favorite patients, not the ones that I see every week. But dudes are gross. They're gross.
Yeah.
I assume you're a clean guy, but dudes are gross.
I try to be.
I've never smelled you.
Yeah, hopefully you never have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like she was saying, it's not Candyland. But from what I've heard, the torch woman, she was telling me that a lot of women go gay for stay. They get girlfriends, they switch up girlfriends, they're in multiple relationships. It's
it's a social bubble. Like
very dramatic.
It's your world.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't imagine, because I don't have that same type of need for, a relationship.
Gotcha.
That.
But you're not doing it. But that's the thing with dudes. It's not necessarily for the relationship. You're not doing it because you want to hang out with your cellmate and cuddle and watch, karaoke night. You're doing it because you want that release. I think for men, it's more animalistic versus the women want the sensual and the cuddling and
the
right, because it
emotional.
means more.
Yeah.
Are
I
you
suppose.
heterosexual? Are you? What's your?
Hetero.
Okay, so what would it take? 60 days? No, that's 60 days is not very long. What would the time frame be? What's the minimum length of a stay where you would start to contemplate eating ass?
Oh God.
Yeah, because vagina.
Um.
She may be on the rag, and I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh God. I'd say 6 months.
Okay.
Damn.
Any
I
more
was,
than
definitely-
I was expecting something crazy. She said
6 months.
6 months. Yeah, you give me 6 months. I'm cracking that
I'll
shell.
do whatever I need to do.
I'll tap the fucking keg.
Yeah, I'm cracking the crab.
Oh God. Well,
That would be a horrible scenario.
You're terrified. 6 months not very long.
It is
But
for
you,
me.
yeah, that's a long. Yeah,
in the grand scheme, it's not.
right. And I was expecting years, and she's like, 6 months. 6
Yeah.
months, and I'm eating ass.
I don't
I'm
know.
not too picky.
There's nothing that could get me to eat another dude's asshole.
Mm.
And you know, if I was in prison for life, and I knew I was never getting out, and there was a dude with tits on the yard, and he wanted, maybe that guy, but he would have to be one of those, you know, trans.
They got to be feminine. You want some macho dude, because I'm
Gotta
assuming
be a
you're wanting to be the
transgender.
top, right? You're not taking.
Yeah, and it would have to be just like a blowjob or something, because even I couldn't fuck him because I'd see their dick, or at the least the back of their ball sack. Yeah,
at least can be slapping your thigh when you're pounding it. That's all you're gonna hear is like, "Oh, Steve, appreciate you, bro.
God,
You can make me some of those wafer cakes."
yeah. Because what are you giving him for this? He's
Yeah.
not doing it for free.
Yeah, that's the trade. And you don't really have a choice. But my fear would be, so yeah, I'm doing life. And like, oh girl, she was doing life. And 25 years in, you're like, you know what? I've had enough. You start sucking dick, and then the jailer walks in. Chatter, you're free to go.
It's like, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck, the rules changed. You're out of here.
Do you go back? do you revert to not sucking dick? I'm about to get out, so I'm not going to suck dick anymore, because my life's about to be different. So
yeah,
that was just a phase. That was
I've got to kill the guy just because he knows now.
Yeah, he knows your deepest, darkest shame. I sucked a dick. I let myself be vulnerable for that moment and allowed myself to be dominated by another man.
Yeah, because he's probably been working on you for a good 6 months.
Or however long you've been cellmate.
Yeah, I guess it was a given that he was a cellmate. Because that's the thing, too. You can't choose your cellmates, right? So what if you're not into your cellmate, but you want to suck someone in another block's dick because you came in together? Because if you're going to, it comes down to like the kill kit. You got to have your cock kit, for lack of a better, because if you're going to be into it, there's got to be a person that who you trust. You got to be semi-attracted to, I'm assuming, otherwise, I don't know. I got awkward real quick, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, I mean, dick kit.
Well, like a mental, your checklist.
Yeah.
What does it have to be? Because we already know 6 months in, ass eater over here is already cracked. Pun intended.
Hopefully, it's not a guy.
No, it would be female, Jill,
Okay,
I'm assuming.
all
Yeah.
right.
But 6 months in,
Women are just.
So if you go to jail right now,
Women
we're
can
gonna
be bad too.
If you go to jail anytime soon, we're gonna set a timer just to see how every letter I send you is like.
All right. So what's the time? What's the time frame? Does the time frame change if the dick belongs to a guard?
Okay. Ooh.
That changes everything.
Everything. Because to me, one, you have something over the guard now. That's a whole different motivation on how I'm gonna suck this dick.
You're gonna put some effort into it.
Because if my cellmate, I'm just helping your buddy out. I'm gonna half-ass it probably. I don't know. I've always said if I went to jail and had to suck a dick, I was gonna do my best job. Because if you suck a really, really good, you only gotta suck one. Because he's gonna defend you. He won't be passing you around. He wants those lips for him.
Or he starts pimping you out.
Oh yeah, because we are in jail. Because
Yeah.
bro, you gotta get a taste of this. And next thing you know, yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, and they say, "Bitch, suck this dick,"
Yeah.
and then
At that point, I pretend I'm Asian and start hanging out with South Koreans. But it's you, man. You have a guard. Because it changes everything. Because one, you don't have a choice. Because as soon as he asked, you're obligated. Because one,
if you say no,
right, what are your consequences? Because now
Yeah.
I gotta go back. Because he's probably
going to go back and say that, "Oh yeah, this person just propositioned me."
you know what this motherfucker just said to me? Yeah, because he's probably been eyeballing you for a while.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty dude, so he's probably been courting me and being nice and giving me an extra wafer cake from time to time. And then by building up the nerve to ask me to suck his dick, it's been a thought process. Because he knows that one, I'm putting my job at risk. I'm risking being exposed for homosexuality or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the stigma is in his mind. And not to mention what his family or whatever is going to think, because he's risking losing everything. I have nothing to lose. I'm already in jail. So on my end of it, I would use it to my advantage. Because he's going to be bringing stuff in.
What if it's an intercourse?
He wants to fuck you up the butt.
Again, we don't have a choice. Like I would prefer. I don't want nobody else inside of me.
Yeah, but
Nothing against females.
you don't
that's
want
kind
somebody
of an odd
busting
thing
nuts
here.
inside your ass.
Take that dick. Nah, I don't know.
It's something they leave there that you can't
That's
get
it.
out.
When he's gone, I can brush my teeth. But he's just gonna be leaking up. I gotta boil my underwear in the microwave. It's like there's so much.
You can only fart out so much semen.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a little bit left over.
Think so? Or are you speaking from experience? I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm just saying,
His research.
there's no turning back.
Yeah.
Once you've been fucked up the butt, you are.
And
fucked
not
up the
just
butt.
that. I would hope he'd ask for to bring a condom.
What?
But not just that.
If you're already asking for butt fucking, you're gonna go in guns blazing, raw dog.
You think so?
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point?
I would be afraid. Because
The guard has access
They
to this
say-
guy's to your fucking medical records.
No.
You,
He'll be hit, but he'll be on lock. He shouldn't have access to any of that unless there may be protocols like, hey, this particular person has hepatitis and stuff like that for their safety. But if they don't know, I don't know how that would work.
well, all they'd have to do is go to the nurse, and if they were friends, like really friendly with the nurse, the nurse would probably break some rules. Be like, hey, does this guy have any STDs? Oh yeah, this guy's got this.
But why would you be asking? Hey, Nurse Jen, does Steve have the HIV? Why would you ask? It's kind of cute.
you'd be surprised how gossipy guards and staff are.
they hand out your meds too. It's,
I'm inquiring is Steve's asshole clean. You think his hygiene is okay? He's been in here I'm sorry.
Well,
A few times.
Just what does he have any STDs? And they test for, if you request it, they'll test for pretty much anything.
So that'll probably be part of the conversation with, I want to fuck you so bad, inmate 69. Can you get tested for us?
You have to get tested. I mean, once you go in, you have to get tested for hepatitis and HIV and
Tuberculosis.
yeah.
They do the little titer test.
Yeah, that's really annoying. But there's a few things that you have to get tested for, and at that time you can request to get tested for additional items.
Being incarcerated in the past, were there people you knew had something? So, because if the guards knew, you would know. Because again, so you got to think about it. Like, so use that as your control.
I didn't know anyone personally who had HIV or hepatitis or anything else. It was probably just chance. It's a statistical probability that you're not going to run into those people because they're such a small percentage of the population.
Yeah, but you're also running a lot around people that shot up intravenously in their past.
Yeah.
not necessarily, and they might not even know. So
Yeah. I asked about that because I was curious. Like if you have hepatitis C, I mean, because you can give yourself hepatitis C by shooting old blood.
sure, it's going ass to mouth.
Yeah, that too. But you can give yourself hepatitis C, and I was just like, I would know if I had it. There would be signs. And I asked the doctor about it. I was like, yeah, not really.
Yeah.
So it's pretty important that you get tested. And I was like, well, shit, all right. Well, and I remember like stressing about the results. I was thinking, fuck, I think I've got hepatitis. But I don't.
Just a wart.
Right. Well, no, it's not, because of all the, I wasn't the most cautionary drug user. So I was worried that my habits had caused me a problem.
Well, yeah. So, because once you hear about it, it becomes all you can kind of think about. I had a friend who, he died of a aneurysm, but he had AIDS like 18 years of. Well, he got diagnosed when he was 18. He died at 36, but he said he thought he caught it when he was 16 by using drugs.
Damn, so he had it for 2 years and didn't even know?
He thinks because that's when he first like using sharing needles different times, right? So it's before people. He was also homosexual, but at the same time when he found out when he was 18, but he was convinced that he had it for 2 years before he was actually even tested.
Yeah, I've never shared needles.
I think that would be the first kind of.
I mean, needles are so cheap. I mean, there's no need to.
You can just go to a clinic, right? And they'll give it to you, like certain places they'll give them to you, right? Isn't there like
yeah, there's places
like
you
that?
can go and do exchanges, or they promote harm reduction, so you get a safe place to use, and they give you some clean stuff. But those places are you don't want to be seen going to those places, and I don't know. It's really awkward buying them. I mean, going to the pharmacy because a lot of pharmacies
you're diabetic.
Well, they want to see your prescription then.
Yeah, there's some pharmacies that won't sell hypodermic needles without
You got a date?
a prescription.
Oh,
Or you put this on lip gloss.
that smells nice.
There's definitely some pharmacies that I went to, and I was like, can I get a box of hypodermics? And they're like, it's our company policy to require a diabetes prescription to get
Really?
needles. So it's not the law; it's just their policy. So you have to go find the right pharmacy, and then sometimes they'll sell you a bag of needles, depending on the pharmacy, which is like a bag of 10. It'll be like $5, or they might be like, well, we only sell them in boxes of 1,000.
Gotcha.
So yeah, either
I'm not ready for that kind of commitment.
I mean,
Rainy day.
Right. Right.
well, yeah, and it puts. I mean, because that's a lot, but you'd be surprised how much you can go through in a short amount of time.
Oh yeah, can't you just swab the outside of the?
They get dull. They get dull. Yeah, oh yeah. They'll even start to splinter.
Really?
Oh yeah, the tip of the needle will actually.
So what kind of gauge are you using? I'm assuming you want.
Oh, it's very fine. I don't remember. I think it was 20 gauge. But it's the tip of the needle will actually start to splinter and fragment, like I don't know, like a hair, like a split end of a hair.
You can get 51 or $15 on Amazon. There's 50 right there.
You
50.
can order them on Amazon now.
Yeah, but
Okay, but mine is a.
oh, those are fucking
Yeah.
huge, dude. Those are fucking huge.
I have them because of my license. I have a different type of
right
account.
there,
Okay,
right there.
well,
So I don't know what you.
30 gauge. That's more like it.
What do we want?
It's around 30.
No. Go back.
25.
Right there.
30 gauge. Right? Is that a good gauge?
That's identical to what I was using.
You get 10 for $5. That's kind of a ripoff.
That's what I just said.
Sorry.
But,
The bigger the number, the smaller the needle, right?
yeah. But well, see, back in the day, Amazon didn't sell this shit.
Okay, but I don't know if.
He's got a medical account.
Yeah, I got the.
Oh.
I like submit my license and they verify my license, and so my account's like verified through. So I don't know if you can't see this.
So
might have to look on-
you've got you're the hook for
not ordering you,
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
But no, I remember looking this stuff up on Amazon, and I remember finding, because what I wanted was, because they have those, I don't remember what the locking mechanism is called, where you have a syringe and then the needle twists on, and you can twist it off and swap it out for different sizes and still use the same actual syringe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's kind
See-
of
see, like
convenient.
the- see, like the
okay,
tip.
so just the tips.
Yeah. So I bought.
So that's the better route to go then, right? So you can go and just buy the.
Very difficult to find just the of a very fine size. I remember getting on Amazon, finding 30 gauge tips like that, ordering them, and they came, and they were for food service, for injecting things or something, and they had no taper or sharpness. It was just totally blunt.
Yeah, I just
Like
saw one that was like a blunt needle. Where I saw it somewhere, I was like, why would you sell a blunt needle? Right
Yeah.
there, blunt needles, 20 gauge, 18
Yep.
blunt needles, oil and glue applicator.
Yeah, it's totally useless for our usage. But
Yeah, but you can boof it.
yeah. And then there was you would get things like, it's called a wheel filter. Look that up.
I think we did one time before. That's like the cotton thing, right? That it pulls the
Yeah,
kind of.
it'll filter out any particulate matter out of a liquid.
We're at 2 hours, by the way. 2 hours and 11 minutes.
Okay.
Did I spell it right? Wheel filter.
Yep, that's it. So you'll that just screws onto the tip of your syringe, and you just force your solution through that, and what comes out the other side is
Is there a needle on the other side of this?
No.
Or you pour it into that?
it's just a flat filter. So you would push it through there, and it would dribble into a different container where you'd have to suck it back up.
Oh, you draw it up into the syringe and then push it through that.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, how the hell did they get that in there?
Yeah, because it uses the same locking mechanism as the needle tip.
Okay.
But yeah, I used to be real big into injecting pills, and I was really concerned about getting like pill matter,
A clogging a vein or something, or
giving me a stroke. So I was really concerned about that at the time.
it's good to so we're taking care of your health.
It was a real concern of mine. I had a lot of fear about it.
As you should, but you should be afraid of other things
Yeah.
that you're doing in general. But yeah, we're 2 hours and 13 minutes into this. So, Jen, as this being your first episode, are you interested in coming back, or are you just like, I just sat here and didn't do anything?
Yeah,
Did you have
I'll
a good
come back.
time? Even though you don't talk into the microphone like you're supposed to. But
Oh, yeah, I'll come back.
okay, wasn't that bad, right?
No,
It sucks that nobody
it
was
was a
chatting.
great conversation.
Yeah, it was and
Very
I have
interesting.
3 guests. I had one that was supposed to be scheduled for last week. I had texted her this week to see if she was available, and she was not. So
Whatever happened to the girl who was supposed to join the? You ever try to?
oh shit, go to the let's end on this. Go to the I'll do it right here. Let me see if it's still logged in. This so we got emails we've sent out. And so we sent one to this guy, where's he at? Right here. That's him, right? Let me see. Let me share my screen.
Brilliant.
Hold on, before I go live, I want to read what he says. He said, "Hi, y'all." First of all, he already lost me. So we put an ad out on Craigslist looking for the ad title is looking for female podcast personalities. So this gentleman says, "Hi, y'all. One could say that I'm a hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite. Excuse me. You want to read it? Correct me. When people meet me for the first time, They don't know whether I'm a guy or a gal. I'm gonna show you this guy's picture in a minute, and there's gonna be there's gonna be zero confusion. They don't know whether I'm a guy or a gal. Would you be interested in doing one episode with me? My explosive conversations could make us a national hit overnight.
For a second, I thought that said explosive convulsions.
Hey, either way. So let me share this guy's picture. Let me see. So according to him, we got 2 viewers. I don't want the audio. So according to this guy, he's sometimes confused with a male, and people don't know if he's a male or a female. Now, I don't know if it's because his beard doesn't have a lot of coverage that he's confused with a woman.
He has feminine eyes.
Okay, if he's wearing a mask in these days, I give you that. Yeah.
But he's got that
those are intense
severe
eyes.
male pattern baldness going on that
Yeah.
you just don't see in women.
So if he's wearing a ball cap
And a mask.
and a mask, maybe. But again,
he's got an Adam's apple. If he's got an apple, he's got a banana.
yeah. So what I did is I reached out to him because I'm like, man, I really want to talk to this guy. What did I say? We are not interested in another male personality. We would be interested in having you as a guest on our show. We go live on Fridays, and let's use welcome to come in by phone and or by the live stream like Sheena did today.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess for anybody who wants to come on, you can come on. We can call you, or we can send you a link to come into the show, and you can be on the live stream because we are a live show. We do rebroadcast this on as an audio podcast. I will upload that tomorrow, so you can find that anywhere. We are not on Apple yet. I'm still waiting on the confirmation on Apple. We are on Google Podcasts, and we are on Spotify. Just look up Wearded Beirdos. This guy hasn't gotten back to me. Most people don't get back to me. I think that's the. Ooh, hold on. Oh, that was her saying that she wasn't available. I thought we had a message. I was excited. But we did get. So that was this chick, right? The fuck me chick.
Yes.
I never reached back out to her because you sent her the text message the day she was supposed to come on, and she said she totally forgot, and you offered for us to call, and she never responded. And so I left it at that. She has our information. She has our email plus our phone number, so she can call, text, or
pretty
email.
much ghosting
Pretty
us
much,
with
yeah.
that.
So I think a lot of things rule themselves out.
And Pam, she fucking totally fell off the map. I think. I don't know why. Maybe it was something I said.
You sent a link though, right? Maybe we gotta stop sending a link. We just gotta bring them in.
What did I
you
send?
say?
He sent a link to the first episode.
Oh,
chloroform and kill
kits.
That's not a. Yeah,
I don't scare someone off.
maybe not lead with that one.
that's a really good. That's probably our most popular one. I think it's because of the chloroform and the kill kit search.
And the thumbnail is classic for
Right.
that.
But then I've had. Okay, all right. We'll wrap this up soon. But this person, she was just too narcissistic. That's why she was the one talking about that. She only has sex with hot guys.
She looks
But she,
like a 50-year-old tryhard.
yeah. And I was like, I want no part of that because this one's not bad. But you go right there, she's posing, and the makeup is caked the fuck on. And so she had something, let me kind of paraphrase what she was talking about. She just got back from California, was going through a divorce and lost everything. But yet you just broke up with a guy.
You could have
but you're
at
also
least
dating 3 or 4 guys that are hot as fuck.
you could have at least gave me the the inside scoop before you cut her off.
You have access to the same email accounts that I do. I didn't cut her off. I just said that, but she didn't respond. I just said that.
I know, but you speak for us as an entity. So I, as a Wearded Beardo, can't
Okay. Well,
partake in
I'm
her.
glad we have Jenny here to take sides. So I apologize for that, but I also, you can respond. Well, I responded to her, but then she got back to me days later, so I didn't bother. One, she's black and from Iowa. How exciting could they be?
What a coincidence.
Right?
There's only like 3 fucking black people from Iowa.
And I don't know her. So this must be it's gotta be a fake name. So yeah, you're more than welcome to respond to them. And then this one, yeah, hi, I'm 21 female, super thick skin, Open to live podcasts.
Love.
Open love podcast. Love to talk. I can't see that far. Would love to join. No topic is off limits.
Oh.
I just like to be me. Open, fun, spontaneous. Thanks. And so then I replied with that. Sorry for the late reply. I've been busy all week. May I have your phone number, or you can text us, or we can have a group chat. Is that okay by your standards?
Well, I think.
But I put my name, so you can always reply and say, "Don't trust that black motherfucker. This is Steve. Damn it. You don't speak for both of me and."
Yeah.
He's just the beardo. The weirded.
Right. Well, I think that's a little bit heavy-handed when you lead with, "May we have your phone number?"
When you say it out loud like that, in that, like, the insinuating voice, I see where you're coming from. So moving forward, but I also put, "May we have your number?" Or you can text us at 530 YouTube, just like anybody else is listening. You can text us at 530 YOUTUBE. You can call, but it'll go straight to voicemail. But you can still reach out to us and ask questions and stuff. And we can do a group chat. If you're not willing to give me your number, then how are you willing to come on our show? We've got to make that connection right away. They know we go live every Friday. We're not beating around the bush.
What I'm saying is you gotta peel back the skin like an onion. You gotta say, "Hey, this is who we are. This is what we like." Introduce yourself before you get to, like, it's like going to a bar and going to a woman and say, "Hey, let's fuck." You're very direct, but it's a little too direct. You gotta say, "Hey, this is who I am. This
is why we have Jenny." Okay. Has that ever worked on you?
What?
Some guys came to you in the club. Let's fuck.
No, that's never happened to me.
Okay. See, Steve, it doesn't happen.
Well, as long as I think it's never happened, I'm okay.
Okay. So, all right. So I see what you're saying. So moving forward, then you're in charge of emails, since you want to hate on me. And then when you respond to all your emails, I'm gonna do the same shit to you next week. When you respond to,
you know what I'll do? I'll make a template.
Why can't you just respond? Lazy ass. I'll make a template. I'll make a template for you, fucker. Because I don't appreciate the way you're doing it. I'm not going to do it for you because I'm white privileged and all. However, if you're going to speak for both of us, you're going to use my words.
What I'm saying is we can have a universal response. And if I'm not there to get it, we're there as an entity to respond. That way, there's no confusion or miscommunication, and I don't have to worry about not knowing what you said or vice versa. So it just simplifies things.
Jen, would you mind responding to these emails for us so we don't come off as the pervert that I am, apparently, according to Steve?
Okay. How do you know I'm not a pervert?
I don't, because you sat there quietly the whole time. So I don't know. We'll find out in time, but... So, do you have? Because obviously Steve is way too busy for this.
Yeah,
he has time to write. You have a time to write a template, but you don't have time to.
Well, honestly, I just don't get notifications for it.
Oh, what's on my phone? So just log in. You have the Gmail app on your phone.
Yeah.
Add this to it, and it'll go over to you. And so I haven't responded. This guy, because this guy was weird. Sorry, so I'll take the hit on this one. One, we're looking for females. It's obvious. And he hits me with why do I feel like I know you guys? My name is Bobby. That's just creepy as fuck. I feel like I've known you my whole life. It's just a fucking ad. And there's no pictures of us. There's nothing. They have no way of knowing who we are from the ad. As I used to have a recording studio / radio station in Denver. So you used to have. You're not even cool anymore. I still do technical stuff with a full mobile battery operated podcast rig, and I can build badass websites. Hit me up if you want to chat. That was almost like a sales call.
Well, in the ad, I put a picture of us, and it does have our channel name in the picture.
Okay, there's a picture of us. How do I feel like I know you guys? Well, you should know us if you've seen this. So based off the picture, then you're just making up shit.
Well, yeah, they can.
I feel like I know you.
Well,
I don't recognize you from the picture.
they can find our channel from the picture, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Because it's a screenshot of us on here, and it says Wearded Beirdos in the bottom left-hand corner.
oh, okay.
So if he was, sleuthing, he could, find us.
Gotcha.
But we don't rank well in search on YouTube when you search Weirded or Beardos or
We've been dormant for forever.
yeah, because
And because
even though we're a super specific name,
it wants to correct us to Wearded Beirdos.
yeah,
that's why.
that's
we've
another
got
problem. Yeah,
That's when I started doing the podcast and stuff like that because I wanted to get our name out there on because we're on Spotify, so we're in different places that are going to have SEO stuff. So I'm hoping over time that will remedy itself once they realize that Wearded Beirdos is an actual thing now.
yeah. I wonder if you have to put that in like quotes or something.
I mean, I can, but anyway, I wrote this guy off and saying I'm old and I'm not a native, so there's your chance that we know each other. Sorry, we're not looking for dudes.
Yeah, we're not.
So I'll take the blame for that.
We don't need a third buddy.
Right.
I think we kind of figured that out with what was his name, Eric, when we were doing the music.
Yeah,
stuff.
we learned our lesson.
And he just seemed to really like our ideas, but he didn't want to affiliate with himself with them. And I remember we still got to do that Planet of the Apes shit, man.
I agree.
Game of Thrones, Planet of the Apes crossover.
Yeah, we just got to. That comes down to the makeup, but those prosthetics are so expensive.
Yeah, it's not a joke.
Did I? I think I may have. Okay. Oops. Shit, I did. So hey, I'm Jessica. Sorry for saying your name. I just stumbled upon there's a billion Jessicas ad on Craigslist. Thought I'd send a quick note to see if you're still looking for a down-ass chick to join your podcast. I would say, yeah. I don't really know if Jen's a down-ass chick. I don't know what that means, but you just don't come across as
Down-ass chick. It could mean anything.
Yeah, that means that could that means we gotta kill your husband. That's a down ass chick.
Down ass chick. Yeah.
Or I'll kill your wife.
Or she's got Down syndrome.
Oh yeah.
God.
Or she's DTF, down to fuck.
Oh yeah.
We need to
clarify.
Yeah. We gotta call her just because. So on your podcast, and so let me know if I would love to tell you a little about myself. See, I like that.
Yeah, see, peeling back the layers.
Right. She didn't just give us everything. Wait till you see the next one. And so I'm like, hey, Jessica, we have not found a dedicated third as of yet. We will have a sit-in this week, but definitely interested in knowing more about you. Is that better? Am I learning? Am I evolving to your standards?
Yeah, I think it's just, your responses are really mood dependent.
Yeah, I clearly didn't like the other people. I was offended that two dudes. One tried to lie and said he might have, but he was implying he has a vagina
and a dick.
Yes. Well, I said he.
Well, but
he said he looked like one.
He was implying that.
But he said he gets confused.
Yeah, he was implying that he was is an attractive. He was just as attractive as a female as he was a male.
Yes. And then you see him. I would like to bring him on the show. I would really like to have a conversation just based off that email. So I hope he does get back to us. So I'd like to bring him in and let the viewers decide. But
okay, so what's next?
Oh, so hopefully that person gets back to me.
Oh, so she hasn't gotten back.
No, that was just today or 23 hours ago.
Have you renewed the ad?
I did.
Okay.
That's where I think this person came from. I actually renewed it last night. Okay, so where do you want to start? Because
holy shit,
I haven't even read it yet. So I'll let you read it if you'd like to. You can actually bring it up on your computer if you want, if you can't see that far. My glasses
I have seen this ad a few times now, and I'm going to jump in. I am 57 years old, Caucasian female. I am not your norm. I am an artiste, and a psychic artist at that. You can check out my website at joanwhitney.weebly.com. Too cheap to buy a fucking domain.
Yeah, I'm already.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Gary Spivey?
Yeah,
that's so random. No,
and
who's that?
See the ones that I've done this year.
He's a radio DJ that does
Is he a psychic artist?
Yeah.
Okay.
The drawings are on top, and the links to posts I have done about them are below. Or there's my blog, a recent post on one of the latest works, which again would tell you a lot about me. I live in Thornton, but I was born in the Bay Area and grew up in New York City and Woodstock. Moved to Colorado in 2005. I don't think there's any topic I would not discuss, although I prefer to have some warning to gather my thoughts and research.
Yeah, I'm not interested. Research? What the fuck? That's why I say, don't quote me on this. That's your research.
Yeah, it's
way too much information. I'm not that
they're-
interested now.
They're just saying I'll talk about anything as long as I okay it first.
Right. Yeah, you're no fun. I want to, like, these are people I want to bring you on the show just so I can see what you're willing to talk about.
I am an avid reader and I do a lot of internet research. I like to get to the truth of the matter. Scroll down.
Dang, so fucking demanding.
Do I have a thick skin? Yes, I would say so.
Cut open to find out.
I have a lot of experience with diverse populations. That sounds like white entitlement.
Right. But our kill kit will definitely have a scalpel.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we'll see how thick her skin is.
On my Patreon, she has a Patreon. On my Patreon, there's a video of me talking about my work, just so you can see me to get an idea. I did not try to stage that video at all. I figured I better just get it up there or it would never happen, so I simply did it. I even had a scab on my nose that day. Oh, well, it's me, and I am just me. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I had no script. I just did it on the fly and even revealed that I am math challenged on the video. So they obviously think they're hot shit.
Yeah.
And that their impromptu video is fucking killer.
And we're about to enjoy it right now because we're going to.
Anyway, your gig sounds very interesting and fun. I do have performance art in my background as well, which, how the fuck does that qualify you for a podcast?
Oh, she's got a master's. She got a master's in fine art. So, yeah, here we go. We got to share.
We attract because this is like the Pam lady.
Yes, who never got back to us.
A mature. This is in the age range you, not a senior, but a mature.
Yeah.
And
wait, I gotta pay. Oh, well, there she is. Where's her video? Oh, here we go.
Hello, dear ones. So good to see you on this wonderful August day. It's really hot today, and I'm outside.
Love the enthusiasm.
Tell you a little bit about my work. Right now, what I'm doing is orographs with the oracle reading and a talisman. I've developed my psychic ability through doing intuitive painting for over 30 years. And now what I do is I scry a drawing with a person in mind, and then I read it. It gives you a psychic snapshot of where you're at.
Reads the drawing
Spiritually and what's blocking you. And then I also do an oracle reading from an oracle that I created using natural law principles from the Kabbalion. There are 7 cards for the 7 laws in the Kabbalion. And then there's another 20. So there's 36 cards altogether. 36 minus 7. Is,
I think the scab is the most interesting thing about her right now.
Holy, I don't.
We got 3 more minutes, man. What are you doing?
But
It's right at the tip, too.
Right. It's like one of those things. This is how I imagine I'm going to die if I'm ever captured. I'm looking up out of the hole, and she's just looking down in here. I drew a picture, and I'm going to read it to you. How the fuck you read a picture?
It's based on the 36.
So you use a symbol and embed that into orograph.
Laws of power.
Talisman, oracle reading. It's digital, and I do it by donation. So you can contact me through my website if you want to do.
I'm willing to buy one just to fucking see what the fuck it is.
I think only $1, right? Is that the?
Trying to give freely, because I believe nature gives freely, so I'm also giving freely.
Her ego is off the chart, though.
my current work that I've been doing. I've done over 80 of these Orograph Oracle talismans since March.
Is that all it takes to make you an expert?
Posted
80?
it on Craigslist.
Yes. Well, have you ever seen Knockaround Guys?
Posted the ad.
500 fights.
But
You guys are a little bit of a badass. So.
letting me post on there. So now I'm looking for
Yeah, but 80 is not even 1% of fucking 500.
Continue doing them. So that is what I'm gonna say right now.
This is like
I'm winging it. I'm totally winging it. That's how I do things. I'm winging it. So I'm there's no script or anything.
I mean, if she watches this, I mean,
art.
I feel bad because I called her a basic bitch.
White line.
This vlog is fucking basic. That is a basic.
Yeah,
vlog.
like I was expecting because I'm glad that I waited for this because she like when you started realizing, okay, she might be kind of interesting. She's not your normal whatever. I'm not your norm. Where's that? I'm talking about. I do have performance art in my background, so I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna have something to say. No, sorry.
Right.
But now after we've done one interview, I'm down to do more interviews because that was fucking amazing.
Yeah, scroll up. All right. Join $1 a month. Oh, so it's a subscription.
What do we get? You gain all access to all content, including a digital or that's what we want with the reading. So that $1 a month gives us that.
Is there a minimum time? Is there a minimum amount of months you have to sign up for?
I don't know. I don't know. Once you're in,
pay a year in advance.
Yeah, all $12.
It's only $12 for a piece of original artwork.
I have to see one first because I don't really know. We can do this after we wrap up the show because we're just.
I still
we're
just
2.5 hours in.
I still can't get over that she can't, cough up the $8 it costs to register a domain,
bro,
and get rid of the.
It takes but $1 a month it doesn't add up very fast. So.
But
I don't know what my website.
Still, if you're committed to your work, I mean, it's not professional to have
right
a subdomain.
Oh, if I go to your site and it says Wix at the bottom, I've lost all respect. Like, you're not professional. Or if you send me a professional, hey, here's my business card, and everything looks all professional. Here's my website, and then it's mybusiness@gmail. I will never contact you. If you go take the extra effort, you got the domain name because don't the web emails come free? Like with Google or. Who do you use?
with Google they come
or
free.
GoDaddy, I mean, sorry.
With Google they come free. Wix, you got to pay fucking like $10 a month.
See, Dylan was doing shit like that. He's I'm gonna pay $5 a month to get you an email. I'm like, bro, host it on my server and it costs us fucking nothing.
Yeah,
I have like 5 or 6 websites. I pay $20 a month.
Yeah, and
I've been doing it for almost 10 years.
If you set it up, you can. If you own the domain, you can set up an SMTP server and do it all on your own. But it's a little complex. I was trying to figure it out, but it's tough.
No, you should get a reseller account. Because where's my where we at?
Well, if you want to do an email server, though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's by itself. Like here, this right here for my. There's my login. I can go right there. I can click right there. You have your domain name. I type in your domain name right there. Where's that? Right there, and boom, you're set up. I'll send you a link to your cPanel login, and you're done. These are literally all websites that I have right now.
You literally never sent me my information for my Bearded Techie custom email.
Sorry,
it's okay. I wanted to use that.
I'll send you a template. Okay. Anyway, we'll end on that. We're 2.5 hours in. I'm sure Jenny needs a party because her lip gloss is popping. So she's got
Bone Riders.
It's a motorcycle club. A friend of mine down there. I think he's down in Atlanta, or he's down. I think he might be in Florida now.
Bone Riders. I mean, if you read it,
yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Bone Riders. And I gave him shit when he asked, like, "Hey, bro, can you like Bone Riders?" I'm like.
It also it kind of reads like Boner Riders. Boner.
Oops, did I spell it wrong? Oh, I didn't put the R in there. Bone knitters.
Knitters.
Yo. Man, I fuck with this bone.
Whoa!
What the fuck is?
Wow.
Oh shit! Look what the fuck you're hosting.
No.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I wish people could see this. I'm glad people can't because
Holy shit!
spell
What a
it?
shock! Somebody sold that fucking
it
domain.
might be a .net. Hold on, maybe I fucked it up. Hold on, stop. Oh, I should call him up right now. Oh, it's Bones Writers. Okay. Whew.
I was gonna say,
may-
holy shit!
He may want to like rethink that name now. 'Cause we went to Bone Writer because if you say, hey,
One letter off, and you're going to a whole different part of town.
yeah, that's gay. Oh, I didn't even know. I just saw someone bent over.
Glory hole feast. Holy shit! That dick is black.
He's so happy though. Nice little ginger, excited. at that.
Man, sucky nucky, hunks at play.
But look at that though. Like, he's getting his crunches in.
Big meaty too. His first bareback lesson.
You read too fast. Oh, doesn't it look like Mr. Bean?
Daddy's boy whore.
Okay, so to catch everybody up, I have a friend. You heard us talking about domain names. I have a buddy in I think he's in Florida now. He kind of moves around. We were roommates when I lived in LA. And so he has a motorcycle club called Bones Riders. So BON''S Riders. So he saw it on my server that I was hosting it. And so I typed in Bone Riders, BONERIDERS.com, and this man-on-man friendly website popped up, and it gives you the feast, Glory Hole Feast by Pride Studios.
White Pride Studios. Is that what you said?
No, Pride Studios is the.
Oh.
Where did I see that? I just saw it somewhere.
Wow.
I was gonna say, damn. I guess there probably is white pride themed gay porn.
Oh, there has to be.
Oh my god, there's
Strange.
got to be like, white dominating black man themed like slave gay porn.
I don't know. I don't want to look. Maybe Jenny can look that up for us.
Yeah,
I'll look
like
for
This assassination
like
porn,
like
cock
role,
hunter.
like role playing like slaver and slave.
I'm sure it's out there.
Ooh, there's a kink for everybody.
All right. Yes, sir. Wow, that's hilarious. Yeah. So anyway, so if you go to look for the motorcycle club, make sure you put that S in the bone.
And it brings you up a header and a footer and nothing else.
I thought he had a site already up. I haven't talked to him. He just asked, hey, can you host this for me? I'm like, yeah. And that was that. Because I host his, he's a hip hop music producer.
So he put up a theme and it has literally nothing to populate it.
Because people probably kept like, bro, I went to your website. What kind of shit are you into? What
he needs to do is contact bonewriters.com and be like, hey, do you want to buy this domain so you can forward it to your
that's
site?
a great idea.
Yeah, because people keep coming. We had to change our whole motorcycle club.
all you would need is a little bit of metric data showing people mistyping.
Or you go and you get the copyright for it and then go after them and shut them down. But
Bone
that was
Writer.
but there I thought he had a site up for a while. I never checked. He just asked and I gave him I logged him on, did this and gave him all his access and he just did it. But he's been having websites here and there for years because we've been friends for so long. Because he has two other websites on my server, one for his production company and something else. So that's the first time I've looked. So anyway, you're in charge of getting a hold of Joanne, one of you two. And hopefully Jessica will get back to us. But Jenny has committed, at least for the time being.
Me?
Um,
You
just
know
sit
me?
there.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, who do you think I was talking about?
I don't know. Another Jenny.
No. There's only one Jenny from the Brock. Sorry.
That's racist.
How is that racist?
That's you're stereotyping.
I am not. I'm pronouncing Brock in her native tongue, converted to English.
But we don't say it that way. I think it's more of a Chinese thing.
Call your mom.
I'm not going to call my mom.
Like, hello. Like, yeah, what's
She
your
will
mom?
embarrass me.
What's her name? Oh my God. Call her. You have her number? Did she
No.
like the Quilo?
No.
She don't like
She's-
round eyes?
She refers to me as the bastard.
Nice. We definitely got to call her. Please, let's call your mom next week. What's your mom's name?
Chantha.
Chantha? Yeah. I'm like, you know J-Lo? She's like, oh, yeah, Jenny from the Brock. And then I'm like, gotcha. Then we're going to disconnect and move on with our life.
It's okay.
I don't think so.
You don't think she'll say Jenny from the Brock?
No,
I think she would get
not.
fucking confused and get.
Does she have a strong accent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my friend and when I worked at the Thai restaurant, he couldn't say R's at all. He was from Thailand.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
He
Thai
could- he
people
could
roll
not
their R's.
He was like, I'm gonna go to the restroom. Like, what? The restroom. He went restroom, but like, and his wife was from Burma, but she was like a higher caste in Burma than him, and so she would give him so much shit about the way he talked because she spoke better than him.
Yeah,
But they were all L's.
Burmese.
Love that fucking-
are
Yeah,
weird
that's
people.
not. That doesn't make sense to me.
What?
Because Thai people roll their R's.
That's right. But maybe that's why she gave him shit.
Why?
Maybe he had a speech impediment.
Yeah, I
Equivalent
guess he
to-
could have been from the country.
Yeah, because he's from. I mean, they're
Oh,
both from.
from the-
She's from. Well, she doesn't see. She said it was Myanmar now, right? It's not. I don't think
Yeah.
it's Burma anymore.
Yeah, Myanmar.
And so I've met all her family. I never really met any of his family, but he's half Thai, half Chinese. But he was from Thailand,
Oh, half
Hmm.
Chinese. That explains it.
right?
Yeah, there you go.
So maybe there was something. But then I had my buddy David. He's Malaysian, no accent whatsoever. We went to school together.
Yeah, well, it all depends on how much dedication you're willing to put into learning the language,
Right.
because pronunciation is just a
And he's like
refinement.
6'2", so there's something weird going on with that guy.
Yeah,
It's
always
gonna be hard to learn a new language when you're, in your 30s,
Yeah,
moving to the country.
moving to the country. I don't know, something about
Chicken.
beaches.
Oh, it's beaches. I was thinking to eat a lot of chicken.
Yeah,
All right. Anyway, we got to stop. This is
that's-
what happens. See, we used to struggle to get an hour. Now we're almost at the third hour. So we're going to end it now. We're going to say our goodbyes. And the show is over.
okay. Adios.
Thanks for
amigos.
listening. Thanks for being here, Jenny. Did you
You're
end it or do you want me
welcome.
to end it?